parents are very strict. Where are you going with those skates? Wear your helmet. Are you doing that too? Are you jumping on those banisters?
Done. Hey, Josh.
Hi, happy Friday.
Yep. How are you?
Yeah, good. I always start these videos by saying so we're gonna do Brandon's interview tonight.
Yep.
Since everyone's been asking about it. And then we're gonna stop for a little bit because we need a break from it. We don't really need a break, but we're gonna take a break. We kind of have other things to do as well. Like, we don't just sit in Zoom meetings all day talking to people about stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a break, and then we don't really know for how long, but
you've got stuff to do with kids and snowboarding and
we never had a plan of like pumping them out one a week or one every fortnight. We didn't actually know what was going to happen, so I think we've done pretty well, but sort of it would be good to take a little break, and maybe it will fire up everyone for wanting to watch some more, or maybe we'll think up some more interesting questions, or
So we're not going anywhere. We're still got a list. Hey, it's just it's a short-term life break. Is that right?
Yeah. There's still people to interview. There's just other things going on. So yeah, that's about it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we're not 32 watches, or however many people are watching us.
Yeah.
Gonna be all right.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
So Brandon.
Yeah. Who is he?
Brandon Drummond.
Yeah. See, I don't know. This is like I don't know who he is.
Well, he's a lot younger than us. So he started skating in 2009.
Yeah.
Which is kind of both when we were still skating but had lives and not quite kids yet. I think you were traveling a bunch then. I think I had my first kid in 2009.
2040. Yeah.
So yes, but Brandon is a real interesting character. Like, he's certainly carved a niche out for himself in New Zealand skating with like really spinny, technical, grindy stuff, but also carved a name for himself on the world stage. Probably the most recognizable like New Zealand rollerblader since like Bentley and Brooke and Tash, which is kind of crazy. Hamish, probably more recognizable than Hamish.
Yeah, I guess recognizable to a certain group of people, right? Because different people will tell you who's recognizable or
definitely true
on what platform. But because I'm removed from the sport a bit, and I still didn't when his name came up, I was like, who? So, but cool, yeah. I watched a few of his videos, and like he's really into the scene and the sport and doing it, so which is cool. So we could stop rambling about it and push the button, I guess. Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Hopefully this works. Drinks break.
Hello.
Hey, there he is.
How's it going?
Good.
Did I do that right? Yep. Yeah. I got audio and stuff right. Sounding good.
Got audio and stuff perfect. That's
sweet.
We would expect you to anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, oh, the pressure's on, right? I should know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're the pro here.
I should be the pro guy.
Look at us. We've set the bar so low that
I'm actually very impressed with the Shodcast you guys are running. I don't even know if you can call it a Shodcast because, like, I mean, I've been on a few podcasts now, and yours has probably been like the pre-schedule, like the email you sent me has been like the best, most well-made one I've got. The rest is kind of like someone being like, oh yeah, just make sure you do this. You know, it seems legit. I like it a lot. Not just that though, too. Just the show in general. I've been liking it a lot. So good shit.
Nice.
It's good feedback. That's way better than any comments we've had under the videos.
Oh yeah, yeah. The comments can be very hit or miss.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've got a fair bit of questions to ask you tonight. A few guest questions as well, and then a couple of photos to go through with you. So it should be a good time, actually.
Oh, sweet, good. Sounds good. It's funny. It's like I've definitely become a morning person these days. So when it's you saying like this late at night, I'm like, oh wow, it's only 8:30. I'm like, I want to go to bed. We'll see.
Is it because and this is not one of my questions, but is that because you're trying to align yourself to the American timeline with some of the stuff you're doing?
It could kind of be. I don't know. It's something to switch, but yeah, definitely. Because for the like live streams I do, like you see, I start like early as hell in the morning, like 8 a.m. If I'm out skating, it's like 7 a.m. trying to get ready, and it's even that's still kind of late in the States.
Yeah,
so it kind of is, but I don't know. I think I just am a morning person these days now. Don't know why.
I often join your Twitch stream in the morning with my getting ready for work routine.
Sweet.
In my office, as Joss knows.
Yo.
Sorry.
Wait, so we're probably going to talk about it anyway, but Brandon, do you do something every day? Do you do something online every day?
I tried to do that. Not really at this point, nah, but I was trying to stream every day of the work week, but it wasn't very sustainable. So at this point, nah, I do like one video a week and one stream a week, pretty much. Yeah. That's pretty much what I got, yeah.
That's good effort.
Oh, we're going to take you right back at the very beginning then. And I wanted to ask you where you grew up.
So I traveled around a lot growing up. I'm born in Te Awamutu, which is like near Hamilton, right?
You're a Waikato boy.
Yeah. And then when I was younger, my parents moved us down to Invercargill for a couple of years. So I lived there. I think it was literally for like 2 years. And then I moved from there to Palmy. And that's kind of where I mostly grew up for most of the time, in Palmy. And then a little town, Ashurst, which is outside of Palmy, was mostly where I grew up. And then I moved here to Wellington for uni, like 5 or 6 years ago now. Can't remember. But yeah, so all over New Zealand at this point. Yeah.
And so where did you start skating? Was it in Palmy?
Yeah, it was in Palmy. So I got into skating right when I kind of like really took it seriously when I started high school. Because I was always skating like kind of casually before then. Yeah. I was always like, I wanted to get rollerblades because of there's like a cartoon I was watching as a kid that one of the main dudes was rollerblading. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I got some like secondhand ones from the Salvation Army that were like absolutely like the most garbage skates ever. And I just had them for ages, and I like skate around like the block and stuff here and there. And then at Ash's school, there was like a wheels day one day, and that was the only thing I had to bring. And I met this other guy, same age as me, who was he's from like Europe somewhere, and he was like an aggressive skater, kind of, not really, but he had like those core aggressive skates, that everyone that people get stuck with here in New Zealand, and he was kind of the one who showed me all about aggressive, even though like he was very much a beginner, like doing no grinds, no nothing. We had a little like 6-foot vert ramp in that little town. So I like started on like vert kind of, and I was skating with the brake on my skates and stuff. And that's where I really got into it. And then when I went to high school, there was like a competition at the Palmerston North skate park that I've decided to enter for whatever reason. Yeah. And it was horrible, man. It was like it's a competition for like all sports. And I was like, me and that guy that got me into blading were the only bladers who entered. And and we got smoked in front of everyone. I remember we were having like battles to like the pyramid, like 360, and I was just getting smoked, man, in the middle of the park in front of a huge crowd. And yeah, from there I was just hooked out. There was that, as well as there was this like stair set I jumped. It was probably like a 6 set. And I was like, wow, I didn't think I could, it was like it blew the first time it blew my expectations of what I could do. And from there, I was like, oh, maybe I want to actually like take this seriously. And like, it's like been a big part of my life ever since then, from 2009-ish.
So most important question there, did you beat the guy with the core skates in that competition?
I don't even think I didn't get any results. So I don't know. I'm going to say yes, but the coolest thing though is he was actually kind of sad. He stopped skating like a few years, like probably when we went to high school and we stopped hanging out as much. He went to a different high school. And then I like ran into him in like the little town Ashurst that we live in, like a few years later. And there's this like rail that's in the middle of the town. It's a pretty nice rail. I used to skate it a lot. And I was skating it by myself. And he came past and he was like, yo, he's like, you made it. He was like, because we used to go to that rail and he'd be like, oh, one day we're going to both be skating this rail. And it was like, we couldn't even like, nowhere near jumping up to it, couldn't grind like a curve or nothing. And he's like, you done it, man. Look, you can actually skate this rail. That's so sick. And it was like such a highlight for me. Shout out to him.
How funny is that though, that you bet the dude who had proper skates and you had skates with a brake on?
Yeah. I remember because he went back to Europe and got some like actual skates. He got some razor shifties. And that's actually, I had like it might be my second YouTube channel. I called it Razor Shifty 2. And it's because of that. And I've never heard of that skate ever since. Like now that I actually know about blading, I've never heard about the Razor Shifty. I looked like a Genesis. I don't know what it was. Yeah.
And this is random, but what was the first bit of blade media that you saw? Like what got you really hooked and inspired?
It was this, I remember it being, it was Alex Brosco's KFC, one of them, the one that's on YouTube. I just vividly remember that. That's the one video I remember. And there was also like some vert montages that I can't find anymore that we used to watch a lot. But yeah, the KFC Brosco one was like the one that made me want to like actually skate street versus just the half pipe. It was so cool, man.
Brosco was wearing like baggy pants. Eh?
Yeah. I remember like at the time I had some like some kind of RB skates that I absolutely hated. They're like this gross olive green color, and I hated them, man. I wanted to hide them as much as I can, and I got them on Trade Me for like $30 or something. And I remember pausing the Alex Brosco KFC to look at his skates and be like, damn, those are so much cooler. And those were just TRSs, I think, in the video, which you definitely could have got back then, I think, on Trade Me. I'm sure if I looked hard enough.
Yeah, that's when everyone skated with those flappy bits on the
yes. Yeah, completely undone.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Danny just modeled his entire look on Brosco at that stage.
Yeah. But who didn't want to? Because that was a good video.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And Brosco's still killing it, which is crazy.
Yeah. And like, so Ashurst, how far away is that from Palmy?
It's like a 15-minute drive, if that's really close. Yeah.
So did you often do skate trips to Palmy and spend
so there's like always, like every week skating at the Palmerston North skate park. I was like, that's more my home park, I'd say, because the little town we in, it had that horrible half pipe. Yeah, it's like 6 foot, but it's somehow vert. It's really bad, man. And so now it's got a skate park though. Actually, I helped design it, which was cool, but it's I don't recommend it though. It's not. It's built by. You can tell it's built by people who've never built skate parks before. But yeah, I had to travel to Palmy to skate most of the time. Yeah.
New Zealand's really funny like that. Like we got so many obscure, weird, strangely built, unexplainable parks. And if you start skating like a long time ago, or even when you started, Brandon, like you end up learning to skate on stuff like that. And as much as it sucks, sometimes it kind of sets you up to like have a pretty diverse range of skill, at least on transition, I think anyway.
Yeah, I really think that too, because I see that even with some of the like, if you see some like really good skateboarders, right? Usually they come from like a really shitty skate park, like I can think of, there's a few that are like that. And I think it does actually, having a really nice skate park, I don't know, But surely that actually helps you. Now that I say that out loud, surely having a good skate park could help you be a better skater. I don't know, but yeah, I think too. From when I went to the States, I always figured that the States would have a much better standard of skate park, but theirs are pretty sketchy too. And like I definitely, I was expecting a much better standard of park when I was over there, but it's pretty similar. Yeah, which is funny.
There's a really funny YouTube series, like the Bronson Speed Co series, where David Gravett, skateboarder, goes to the shittiest skate parks in America.
I know,
and he skates the shit out of them. It's actually really good to watch.
Oh, yeah. It's a good idea, right? Damn. Because that's like a real challenge, you know, like anyone can skate a good skate park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember skating some of the parks in Auckland, and like if you skated them enough, you would know like where the right little bumps were to hit.
Yeah.
Or like where the transition was good or where it was bad, or kind of it made it a little bit more interesting than just
true.
Copy and paste quarter pipe, copy and paste bowl corner.
Yeah. And I mean, like streets, that probably helps a lot with street too, because there is no perfect street spot. The one thing I think every time I go skate street, there's always something that makes a spot not fun, you know? And it makes me look at edits different. That mindset. I'm like, oh, that rail looks super fun. And then I bet you there's something about it that no one's even taking note of that makes it so much scarier. You know?
Yeah, where's the catch?
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of shitty skate parks, a really good YouTube video would be a session at Otrahonga Skate Park.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you've got to. I'll send you some photos after this.
Uh-oh.
It is quite possibly the worst skate park in the world, I reckon.
Jeez. Damn, okay. Yeah, sounds like a good video.
Yeah. So go back to Palmy. Like there was a few rippers in the scene in Palmy, I guess, back in any day. But back in your day, who were the kind of rippers that you looked up to in the scene in Palmy?
So the dude I really looked up to was Scott Brindle. He kind of like, I feel every single like trick I have, I owe to that man. He like, it's all the inspiration, all the tips, all comes from him. Even like the tricks I do, I look back, I see him skate, and it just like, it's all the tricks I do. It's so funny, like without me even thinking. But yeah, I remember before I met him, I wonder if he remembers this. This would be funny, but I remember one of the first times I was at the skate park, I was like there on some shitty skates. And it's the first time I ever saw like other rollerbladers that were like actually aggressive bladers. And he was definitely there. And there was a bunch of other dudes I don't remember. I remember he said hey to me, and it was like, whoa, like it was really cool. Shout out to him. But I was like, they were doing like royales and stuff on like the little curve ledge that used to be there. Rip that curve ledge. It was so good. And I was like, there's so much more to blading that I didn't know about. And it was such a big day. But yeah, it's the guy, he's the one that was like, yeah, the best guy that I looked up to while I was skating in Palmy. And then outside of kind of Palmy, the other people that I was looking up to definitely would be Jamie Nicholson would be the other one. And I was always skating with dudes like Sam Anderson, who's the man. And there's a few other younger dudes that I used to skate around with a lot that I haven't seen in a while. Shout out to them as well.
Sam Anderson, New Zealand skate sponsor.
Yes, straight up. You know, it's funny. Even I bought some frames, some big wheel frames off from years ago now, and I only just got rid of him. So he's been like the supplying everyone with skate stuff for so long now. Hey, shout out to Sam. He's like the skate shop before Shred City was here, you know.
And so go back to that Palmy scene quickly. Was there anyone that your parents didn't let you skate with in Palmy?
No,
like, you know, your parents warned you about in the Palmy scene?
No, I think my parents I feel like they just didn't know enough. Yeah. So it is funny though. I remember you guys were talking here one time about like someone doing like the talk to the parents to like win them over. Yeah. And I was trying to think, no one really had to do that for me when I went on these like trips with them. I was like, no, they were never that worried, but one person did. And I remember it was Nick Dunn. He came up and he put like the good act on to my dad to be like, oh yeah, I think we're going to like Wanganui or something that day. I can't remember. But it was so funny. It's like exactly what you guys were talking about. It's like, wow, I wasn't even thinking. But yeah, Jamie Nicholson might have done it as well. He might have talked to my parents. Like, slightly remember that. But yeah, no, they were never worried somehow. I don't know how, but they were never worried.
How funny is it
they didn't know? That's exactly what you say.
Sorry, Josh?
That's because they didn't know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
But-
like my parents were like, my mum was pretty strict. She'd never like let me go out skate at night and stuff. Like I never got to do like a night session for years, man. I remember the first time I skated Palmy Park at night, I was like, damn, man, skating at night is such a vibe, man. It's so different. But yeah, I was very lucky, I think, that they didn't look into it too hard.
I still find it funny though that Dunn went up to your dad and had a chat to your dad, like,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, he did a good job. He nailed it. My dad was like, "Oh, that guy seems like a good dude. He's real nice." He was like talking about it for a while. Yeah.
So when was the first time you met like that tour crew from down there?
That's probably at like at Skate Zone at some point. Probably, I think. It's funny, yeah. Or at like the First State City, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, with the Wellington boys, I'd never really skated with them that much. I remember Dix tells me I used to like look terrified of them, which I could see that happening, which is funny. But yeah, I don't really remember. I remember like meeting Slug and stuff at like Skate Zone at like Nationals or something.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he was super cool. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And so apart from that Palmy contest that you entered with your brakes on your skates, when was kind of the next contest you entered?
I think the next one I entered was the Nationals in 2010 at Skate Zone, which is, yeah, and I won it, which is funny for I won the under 16s, which that's a come up. Geez, that was like a mega highlight for me. Yeah, that was such a good year. That was like I was like 14 and my parents let me go down. I can't believe it. I went for the competition overnight. I mean, it was skating. There wasn't many people in the under 16s from memory. And I honestly, to this day, I think I just had it lucky that the judges were like in my favor. Shout out to them. I'm pretty sure Scott was one of the judges. So, yeah, that was a really good day. I think that was like the first time I ever got drunk too. So don't tell my parents.
Did Dunn get you drunk?
No, it wasn't Dunn. I think everyone was giving me drinks. I remember everyone.
Nice. Randomly, I wanted to ask you this because I kind of feel this is your signature, having watched a lot of your skating, but you've got quite like a distinctive and really clean style, and you can 360 into pretty much most grinds. And not a lot of people still 360 into grinds, but you still seem to have it on lock. Like, did you work on that specifically? Like that was an area of your skating you wanted to try to do and do well?
That's a weird. When I think back on that trick, I don't really remember learning the spin stuff. It was I learned like a really bad 360 Marchio way back. Like I remember way back doing it that's when I had those horrible RBs with like the tiny sole plate. I had like one of those like fin sole plates, that not really even a sole plate. I remember that's when I like first started skating with rollerbladers, because before that I used to skate mostly with like scooters and skateboarders. Isn't that weird? And then I don't really remember drilling it out too hard. I remember I learned like a true Mizu, and then I like came up to do a true Mizu on the wrong side of the box and did a 3 Mizu, and I was like, what? And it just clicked. But the spin tricks for me, I have their days. I have a few of them unlocked, but some days they just don't work, man. So I don't know. And they also, I find they're a bit of I get stuck on them, like it's the only thing I can think of doing sometimes, which I don't like, but can't complain. I can spin to it. So
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, certainly an art to it, and to do it well, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I did watch a couple of your vids, and like it looks like you're quite I suppose the word's methodical, like in your approach to learning stuff. At least in one of your videos anyway, it seemed like you're really like, you're skating by yourself to begin with, which is like, when you skate by yourself, you're kind of in the zone, you're just thinking about what you're doing. So maybe that's part of it, but it did seem like you're quite methodical in your approach to learning.
Yeah, I like a solo session. That's where I feel like I learn the best, is when I'm skating by myself, and just because then I don't have to worry about anything, and I would just sit down and just try to work it out pretty much. That's usually how I do that.
Yeah, and that was the thing that was interesting about it, because I don't think I don't think I've ever skated by myself. So when I imagined it when I was watching you, I was like, you must go there and be like, okay, I'm going to try this. Doesn't work. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this for a bit. I'm going to try this. And instead of, it's a big bunch of your mates skating, you're like, you kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there's two parts of it where like when I skate by myself to drill things out, like it doesn't always work. Sometimes it's usually like if I learn a trick, like I knew it was going to happen. But if I'm skating with like other people, that's when I'll like do a completely new trick that I didn't have any plan of doing. It's like, It's different. It's like, and it's almost better. I would say that too. It's like, it's more, you push yourself more as well. I find when I skate with other people, that's when like the bigger, harder tricks happen that I wouldn't try by myself. But I also find that when I try to learn something with skating with other people, there's like too much pressure, and I don't want to, if I don't think I can land it in like a few tries, then I'll probably be like put off even trying it, which is, depends on the session, I guess, though, but yeah.
It's interesting though to think about that, like why that happens or why you feel that way, because I guess everyone would be different too, right? Some people will just throw anything out there and not give a shit about whether they're going to get it or not until they either do or until they just move on to the next thing. But it's interesting anyway to think about.
Because it's like if everyone's like skating a ledge, I'm like trying to learn something on it. Like I almost don't want to be like sitting there falling on it over and over again, in the way. That's what it feels like. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you feel like a certain bit of pressure at the moment, like to perform, like when you're going to a spot with a whole lot of people, like a whole lot of New Zealand skaters or whatever?
Depends. Like, depends who it is pretty much. Really. But yeah, definitely I'd say that's a weird one with me that I see where like, I can enjoy skating with like a crowd, but a lot of the time it just puts me off, which is weird. And I mean that as in like whether it's just a bunch of the homies skating like a big an event or something, or like just someone in the public, And that's funny, when I skate with Slug, he's like the total opposite, man. He loves the crowd. It's like he lives for it, And I can see this completely unrelated kind of, but when we're skating the Wellington here, sometimes way back when we're filming like street and stuff, it can be a really big motivator to have like a crowd, like random people stop and be like, oh, they're going to skate that rail. Then you kind of like, oh, I have to hit it this time. They're watching, and it's a bit of motivation that wouldn't be there if the crowd isn't there, So like, I can see both ends, but yeah, like I'm the kind of person that I'll overthink stuff, like if I'm at like a skate meet or something and everyone's like skating a spot or something and there's people start lacing shit, I'll be like, oh man, I can't just do a solo now. That person just did like an alley-oop top, so I got to do something better than that. And then I'll like go up and I'll do a solo and miss it and be like, oh my God, and then I like it stumbles from there to the point where I'm like, man, I'm just going to watch,
Yeah. It does do that.
It seemed to click for you at that first blade jam that Van put on at Bayskate though, because you laced some real cool tricks.
Yeah, that comp was different. And I don't know why. I remember because the Hate City and New Plymouth was just before that.
Yeah.
And I was somewhat injured when I was skating there, but I was like, I got in that mindset from memory where I was like kind of bummed out. Everyone was lacing it and I like couldn't land shit, Yeah. And I noticed it happening. I was like, I let this like mindset kind of come over it that kind of just like, it stopped me from like really pushing myself and stuff. And so at the next one, I was like, nah, I'm just going to go make sure it doesn't happen. Just do shit, don't like, don't take it too slow. Don't get in my head, and just like, and I listened to music as well. And I think that helped a ton because before that I wasn't. It lets me kind of zone out a bit more. And I noticed at the Blade Jam 2, the Napier one, that all the like dudes that were killing it, they all had music like headphones in. I was like, maybe that's the key, like, who knows? Working it out.
There was some cool footage that came out of that comp.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Came out real good that Michael Farr did.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So speaking of the Napier and the whole Blade Jam, like, what do you think of the New Zealand skate scene as a whole?
I think it's doing pretty good. there's a good amount of people out there. I'm always surprised. Even like here locally, I'm probably the worst person for our local scene because I like a solo session, and it means I'm very inconsistent to someone to hit up to skate, you know, like, or if I meet you to skate, I don't know, it's not good. But I always get, there's always people reaching out to me being like, yo, I'm in Wellington and we can skate. And I'm like, what? I like, if we organized actual like sessions, I think we'd have a decent crew here in the Wellington city, which I can't believe. But yeah, all of New Zealand, I think it's in a pretty good spot, I think, which is good. Seems pretty healthy. And it's funny. I always think I get the vibe that Auckland has by far the biggest scene. It seems like a very different to me. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's the vibe I catch.
I would have kind of thought otherwise from what the people we've talked to. Like, is there even much of a scene up there anymore?
I kind of feel it's a bit disjointed. I mean, I went to an indoor session they had a couple of weeks ago because Aaron's got his skate park, Sunskate, and there's maybe 9 people there, I guess. 2 imports from Hamilton, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's just disjointed with people wanting to ride different things and different terrain.
Yeah, because my whole like time growing up skating, the like usual crew size I would have would be like 3 to 5 at the most people, mostly just 3 people probably, I'd say. So anything more than that is huge to me, which is funny. And even here in Wellington, it's like
not a car jammed full of kids going around town.
Yeah. You would freak out if you got to see the sort of, I guess, scene we grew up in with the amount of people and volume of people at an indoor skate park.
You even see the photos that Heather had for the last episode. Even that, because was some of them in Wellington, was it? No, maybe not. Maybe
there was just a lot of it was just crew shots hanging out and people outside.
It's like, what? So many people. I can't imagine, man. Yeah. It's so different, man.
It was a pretty cool time to grow up in, that's for sure.
Yeah. It was good. I thought having that many people around was just a given back then. Like, you didn't even have to work hard to organize people. It just happened all the time. Yeah. So I think that kind of made it for a lot of people. If all of those people were still, if a lot of people were still skating now and it didn't happen like that, I don't think there would have been people would have lost interest a lot quicker.
Yeah. Because now you like really need a motivated person to keep it together, you know, and to plan everyone and drag everyone out, you know, the smaller size.
I'm not bragging on the social media thing, but I kind of feel like back then when that wasn't around, it just wasn't necessary, like to get everyone together. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm still, through all of these podcasts that we've done, I'm still trying to understand why for myself I kind of draw an issue with it, but I don't think I've got an issue with it. It's become such a big part of the culture now that it's kind of a weird thing to get your head around.
Yeah. It's definitely not all good. I wouldn't say social media is 100% a good thing.
But I mean, you're obviously really like involved in it, and so why do you do it? What are you doing? Explain yourself.
It's honestly, the whole thing's really weird. I feel like the fact that I make videos and stuff is just like, I'm very surprised I'm doing it. It seems very like, I'm a very like kind of like quiet, shy person, you know, so it's really a weird thing to do. I started doing it because I just kind of started doing it. I remember there was like no blading kind of stuff on YouTube back when I just started doing it. It was like maybe just Ricardo Lena, who's the only one making stuff. And I had some razor shifts that were playing up, and I was like, I need to tell people about this if they're gonna buy them. I was like, I could try making a video, and I kind of just started doing it from there, which I don't know if that's just how I cope with that, how I started making videos, but I don't know. Yeah, as I growing up, like I think at Ashu's school, I remember this one day, this guy came in to do like a presentation, and he like showed us how to edit a video. And I remember I like thought it was so cool. It was on Windows Movie Maker, and I went home and started like playing around with like video editing. This was before I even skated. And I think even then that led to me like looking at YouTube. That was probably like right at the beginning of YouTube, like way long ago, playing around with it. And it's really weird to think about that. I like maybe all these things just slowly influenced me into like sticking into it. But yeah, I don't know about the whole social media scene. I don't know. I go back and forth with how like the whole thing being very good. I've seen a lot of the downsides to, always being online, always having to film things, always having to like only talking to people online and stuff. It definitely has a lot of downsides.
Yeah. I mean, I think the good side is definitely like, because it's just communication, right? That's what it is basically.
Yeah. Like
it's a way to show it, especially with the lack of magazines now. Like that's kind of the replacement, isn't it? Is that fair?
Yeah, I'd say. Even like I would say I didn't even.
Yeah, it's a good way for people to share ideas and stuff. I definitely see that. And I'm still struggling to find the downside, but I know that somewhere lurking in there, there's a downside, but I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's things like with social media, you hear everything, which is bad. Like even just in blading, like, you're going to hear everyone's takes on stuff. You're going to hear, people complaining about this and that, people commenting on your skating that you'd never see before. And also, if I'm picking for downsides, like people just skating to like get clips and stuff, which is a little different. And like saying like a session doesn't matter till you get clips, everything has to be filmed. You got to film your whole life. But I mean, I sound like I'm just complaining about it, but there are definitely a lot of good things about, everything being online. Like, obviously you can learn to do anything, you can get rollerblading in front of a lot more people a lot easier, which is good.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's just, that's all I can think of right now. But yeah. And you can do like communities and groups and stuff where you can get answers. There's a lot of good to it too. But yeah, it's definitely, yeah.
How progressive the people
the people that are just skating to get clips, like if that's an accurate summary of a certain type of people, if it all went away all of a sudden and there was no more online sharing, no more social media, no more platform for it, surely like these people they would still realize that they love it just for what it is.
Yeah, I'd say probably too. And I think the bigger downside probably is when people start caring about, likes and comments and views and stuff, because that's when you'll be like, you could like lay some crazy trick, but then be bummed out that like you didn't get enough likes or something, that's not right, It's sad. Yeah. But I think you're right. Yeah. There's just got to be no one out there that just skates for making videos, there's no way.
Yeah.
Not at this stage anyway.
It can never be a substitute for going and having like a session with your mates.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
How progressive is your school though, having a video editing class or like someone come and present how to do it? That's pretty cool.
I think it was just like a random person came in. I was in primary school. I thought about that today. I was like, wow, like that probably like really changed my life. That one person coming in showing off Windows Movie Maker.
Charles, do you remember when we made our first movie, our first skate video?
Say that again.
When we first made our first skate video, 2 VCRs, 2 TVs next to each other, recording from VHS to VHS.
Man, I wish we had that.
And then did we have a CD player as well? So we'd overlay the music. No, we had the CD, like when we were recording and playing it, we had the CD player holding it as close to the TV as we could, playing the track. And so you'd have to really carefully push play when the skating started.
Yeah, I think we even tried to do fade-ins as well. We were DIY, man.
Yeah,
damn, that's so different, man.
And we handwrote titles too. Like we filmed handwritten titles in between each section. Like we were ghetto as.
Damn, that's sick though. That takes some real dedication.
That video was pretty progressive.
Yeah, but now you just pull it up. It's all easy. You can film with your phone. You can like do everything on your phone now, which I feel like I was growing up in the in-between of, you're just doing everything on your phone, doing everything on a computer. So I definitely prefer to use a computer. but it's crazy what you can do now with little effort. It's so impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Scary.
Phones are pretty amazing.
And you spend a bit of time trying to do different things, to different content creators. Like, I know you don't do a lot of 3D modeling, and you create like scenes and sets. Like, how did you become inspired to learn that sort of stuff?
So it's kind of, I remember because while doing Blade News, I got like remember someone said like a joke comment saying like, oh, you should like put a suit on and like pretend you're like an actual news person. And I was like, that's not a bad idea. And then someone was like, oh, you should get a green screen and like play skate in the background. So I started doing that. And then I was like, wait, what if I green screen myself into like an actual news studio? And I was like, that could be a cool idea. And so I looked around trying to build that kind of scene, and there was nothing, man. Like I could get some really blurry pictures for the scene, but there was absolutely nothing. And I came to the conclusion that I was going to have to like make a set myself, like in 3D. I was like, yeah, why not try just learn it? There was this like YouTube series teaching you how to use Blender to make like 3D environment. And I was like, yeah, it could be a fun side thing to do. And I just did the tutorial and then tried to build this basic set myself. I wouldn't say I really know how to 3D model anything, but yeah, got there in the end, and it probably wasn't worth the time. I was even looking for like someone to pay to make me one. There's no one doing it. It's crazy. I should probably get into that. It can be like a side business, making virtual studios. It's so much work though, man. I have to charge so much money. That's probably why no one's doing it. But yeah.
Oh, that's pretty rad. And what
can I just ask, like on the roller news thing and through your videos and anything, do you try to stay kind of neutral, or like are you vocally opinionated about what's going on and in terms of the industry and skating and skaters and stuff?
I've kind of flip-flopped between a few things, trying to test it out. I kind of started off just saying like my thoughts on stuff, but then I got the impression that people just wanted to hear the news. So I really prioritized just saying the news quickly as possible, telling people what's happening, facts, that's it, and getting on. And then now I've started to, because I think people don't prefer that. I started to say like, well, how I'm feeling about these situations and, new products that come out and stuff. And I think that's the better format. It's a bit less boring, I think. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, I've done every single thing I've done on YouTube. I change my mind about it every day. Yeah, like I never stick to like a strong format. I always changing. I know that's a good thing.
I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And what was the kind of genesis of Blade News? Like, how did you decide to do a rollerblading news show?
It's real weird. Another one of those things I never ever like planned on doing. So it started right when Valo announced the ending.
Yeah,
it was right then I was looking into buying some Valos for the first time because I was skating razors all before that. I was skating the shifts and I wasn't liking them. Maybe not want to skate razors anymore. And right when I was looking to buy some, then Julio said that Valo's going out of business, and I was just like, I was pretty gutted about it. So I just made a video kind of like talking about like, man, it sucks. I was about to buy them. And then he announced them, and I just made a video being like, oh, it's sick, them's here. And Roller News, they shared that video where because I talked about everything we know about it so far. And that's where I really got my start on YouTube, was that point, mostly because of Roller News sharing it. Shout out to them. And they're back now too, which is cool. But that was when I saw people wanted like a kind of news show kind of thing. And I did like a kind of parody one episode of Blade News, the first ever one. And it's I'm parodying this like normal kind of gossipy news guy that I watch on YouTube for Philip DeFranco. I'm kind of just, all my thumbnails look like him. That's where you'll see it if you dot. And I just wanted to do like a parody of him, but for blading, and people liked it. So I was like, yeah, I might as well keep doing it. I was only doing it once a month back then, until Biz came along, and then I was like, okay, I better start doing it more than once a month. And then it's been every other week ever since then, which is really weird to think about.
But you were the first. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is weird. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that too. Which is funny. But yeah, That's really weird. I'm surprised no one was doing it. Maybe there wasn't enough news back then. Oh, there was a news show before me actually. Power Slide did one for like a little bit. That I think it was just Power Slide news, but I remember Matthias was telling me about it. That he told me that they had their one. Him and Ricardo Lino and someone else did a news show beforehand for a bit. At some point, yeah.
So you're number two then.
Yeah, technically, yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about that one, so in my mind, I'm number one.
You're also like a massive supporter of other channels and other content, like creators. Like you're always sharing and talking about other people, and I know you're a big fan of Tom Moyes as well, as am I, which is he's pretty good. But
yeah,
do you just consume like a lot of Blade media because of Blade News, or did you just consume a lot anyway?
I really like to try share. Like if I find like a really good channel, I really like to share the word about it, because I know it can make a big difference when you're like a small creator, you know, to getting like someone telling other people about you like that. So I always try to do that. It's definitely, it gets harder to do. It's harder to like, because right now I find doing Blade News has kind of ruined watching blading stuff for me, because it's like, it's almost like work, you know?
Yeah.
Once you're watching something for work, then you're not enjoying it the same way. So it like ruins my judgment a bit. And it makes me more hesitant to watch more stuff. So I'd say I don't watch that much role-playing stuff now. I'd say I'm pretty narrowed in on the stuff that I already know I like.
Yeah.
Which is probably not a good thing. But and that's why I started doing the streams, because then I had I was like kind of forced to watch some stuff live, you know, which helped out a lot with that.
Because you're also like, I don't understand what Twitch is really. And you're kind of the first rollerblader doing live streams on Twitch. Like, what is it for people like me and Josh that are really old and don't know shit?
So it's kind of like, I think it's the first ever like video streaming platform, I think, at one point. It's really gamer central. Like it's a gaming streaming platform, which is probably why it's weird to be doing skating stuff on it. But it's very like, it's kind of underground, kind of. It's a massive platform. Like it's owned by Amazon and stuff. It's huge. But a lot of people don't really know about it, which has been kind of hard for streaming there and not doing gaming stuff, you know. But it's like the best streaming platform. It has a bunch of features that like no other platform has yet that just make it so much better. Like there's just lots of little things that just make it so much better. And there's a really good like, I don't know, it's weird to say it's good, but there's a good culture to the platform too, where everyone's kind of like, it's very different to everywhere else. It's hard to explain. You have to be there, but everyone's kind of like joking around, you know. It's good vibes. So
no haters on Twitch.
There's definitely some like people trolling and stuff, but it's funny. If I look at like anyone's like YouTube stream now, the chat is so different. I like can't put it into words, but it's like, it's almost like they're on other platforms are like less sincere, you know. It's like they're like pretending to be nice, if I put it like that. I don't know. I'm not explaining that well, but yeah. So Twitch is just it's a live stream platform. Yeah, a live stream platform. That's all it is. Yeah.
It's quite interactive too, eh?
Yeah. So there's lots of little like interactive things that really make it better. Like lots of little things. Yeah.
And can you make money from Twitch?
Yeah, so that's the other good thing about it. So one of the good things about the culture there is it's people like, it's kind of normal to pay for free content on Twitch. So a lot of people don't mind. So the way it works is you subscribe on Twitch and that costs money. So you're like subscribing for it. So instead on you, this is hard to explain. So like you subscribe for like $5 a month, right? And then I get a cut from that. And then for that $5, you get like ad-free viewing and some emotes to use in the chat. And it's kind of like, I kind of see it as like a Patreon kind of, but where you actually get something instantly in return, and I can like instantly see the people doing it and thank them for doing it. It's like, that's how I kind of see it. But yeah, that's really hard to explain. So YouTube kind of has the same thing as well. They have members too, so you like subscribe for free, but then you can join and become a member, which is where you like pay a monthly fee which supports the person creating it. And then on Twitch, you follow for free, which you can watch the streams and everything for free, but you have ads every so often, which they suck. They're really annoying, and I can't turn them off, which sucks. But then you can subscribe as you have like $5 or something a month. And then it directly supports me, and you get ad-free viewing and stuff. And the other good thing is people can like gift subs. So like if someone's feeling generous, they can like randomly gift a bunch of people in the chat a sub, and then you get that for free. You get like ad-free viewing and stuff, and it supports me heaps. There's just stuff like that. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
I need to check my phone because my son uses my phone too, and he uses Twitch heaps. So I'm really nervous. He's subscribed to a whole lot of gamers.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, that'll add up quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another good thing too, is since it's owned by Amazon, this isn't really a thing for New Zealanders, I guess, because we don't really have Amazon. But when you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub to any channel every month on Twitch, which is just like free $5 to whatever creator you like, for no extra cost to you, which is really cool. Yeah.
And because of your presence on YouTube, like you're pretty well respected around the world for what you do. Like, what was your kind of buzziest fanboy experience? Like you being mentioned by someone or contacted by someone, like a pro skater or someone from overseas?
There's been a ton of little ones that, since we're in New Zealand, all this is kind of surreal to me, all of it, because we're so excluded from the rest of the world. Like it's hardly ever I'd like run into someone, I mean, just the other day, there's a guy, he was messaging me about my adapts. Damn, I can't remember his name, but there's a razor skater that I absolutely loved his skating for years. I can't remember his name, damn it. But he messaged me to be like, oh, yo, yeah, they like give me tips for the adapt skates breaking the wind. And I was like, wait, that's this dude. He's messaging me. What the fuck? There's been a few moments like that. And there's been other times like, yeah, every time some of the like big dudes in blading even like mention my name, I'm like, what the hell? It doesn't make any sense to me, man. But yeah, it's mostly all surreal to me because it's all digital, like nothing. I haven't really seen anything in person, so it's kind of like this hasn't actually happened,
Yeah.
There's been one time in I think in Johnsonville here when I was at the mall, some random guy I never met came up and said, "Oh, you Brandon?" He's like, "Oh, I've been watching your videos," and that was like the highlight of my life, man. Shout out to him. That's the only time it's ever happened. It was so sick.
The one later in Johnsonville.
Never happens.
Yeah.
Were you kind of disappointed that Brooke Howard-Smith didn't know your name on his Jump Street interview?
I'm not surprised, really. No. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, when I learned that Brooke Howard had anything to do with blading, I was like, what the hell? I couldn't believe it, man.
Guy.
Yeah, he's the target guy to me. I was like, holy shit. He's the guy who like did Royales. Like, he's the like OG. What? He's so weird, man.
He's like the OG.
Yeah. OG.
It.
Have you bought any NFTs from him?
Nah. I haven't bought any NFTs now. Yeah.
So again, going back to that blading channel piece and your buzziest fanboy experience, what's the weirdest experience you've had kind of being a celebrity within rollerblading?
I get there's some weird messages I'll get on Instagram sometimes. I'm a little like, I'm so glad there's like a request so they never know that if I've seen it or not. The weirdest one. I just lost it, but there was another one. I can't remember. I've lost it. It's gone.
We can circle back to it. It's always good hearing the weird stories.
Yeah. Damn it.
You've also got like a real broad viewership. Like heaps of people follow you from around the world. Like where's your biggest base of people that follow your channel?
It's definitely the States, I think, by quite a long. Like they're definitely in my head. The majority is the States, by like at least 50%. But I don't think that's actually true. Now that I remember. Oh yeah, 40% of them are from the States, and the rest is very spread out. So yeah, which is I think that's pretty standard for like all YouTube. I think English speaking. But yeah. There's people everywhere, man. It's crazy. It seems to be a lot of people over on my Twitch streams. A lot of them are from Europe. Like a lot of people from the Netherlands and stuff. and they're like, when I go live at 8 a.m., it's like so late for them. It's like, jeez, time zones.
That must be so buzzy. Another random question, but your partner Courtney also knows a fair bit about skating. I noticed there's a few videos on your YouTube channel of you quizzing it.
Yeah.
Do you like have like regular tutorials and tests, or does she just learn it by osmosis, like being in the room?
She just learned all that from being in the room. Yeah, like she knew way more than I thought for that video, man. I thought that'd be a funny idea, but yeah, she just picked it up. I definitely talk her ear off about skating a lot, but it's funny the things she remembers though, and the things she doesn't. But yeah.
If there was like a wife or girlfriend competition, like who knows more about skating, like I've been with my wife for 16 years. She knows fuck all.
She doesn't want to know anything about it in the end.
No, she doesn't. She just knows I got stupid blading tattoos on my legs.
Damn. Yeah, pretty lucky. I think Courtney actually listens. It's proof she actually listens. That's good. Yeah.
And then another random question, but you've also got like quite a cool relationship with Law. And you've gone on a couple of his podcasts. Like, how did that whole thing come about?
That was the first like big like wow moment on my channel. I remember is when he talked about me on his podcast. When I got a trick name wrong, I think they were talking about it. It was about I did what's it called, an in-spin soul, and I always thought that meant like a 360 soul, but you spin a certain way. And then he was talking about me, and I was like, damn, he's watched my videos, which was cool. And yeah, he's just a super nice dude, man. He's always been real cool, real nice guy. So yeah, he helped me out heaps of times with things like yeah, if I need like product advice and stuff, and what's happening with my skates and stuff. He's a good dude. And yeah.
He's pretty technically minded, when you watch his videos and how he breaks things down. Like, I've never been one to think about my skates and what size wheels, and he breaks shit down so much. Yeah, it's funny, what he says about a skate will really change how I think about it. It's crazy. Like, he would point out things that I didn't even notice. And his channel's been real good for me as like a new age blader, because there's so much history I've learned from him. And just things I never knew, like the weirdest things, like Royale grooves, like positions, and like the history of like the grind plate and stuff, like stuff I never knew about. I should probably clarify that's Lawrence Ingram, eh?
Yeah. Back to blading.
People don't know law.
Yeah.
And this is kind of random, but taking my hat off, but my Scottish twin gave you a bit of shit on the wheel scene about the Kiwi, about your kind of Kiwi accent and the pronunciation of some names.
Yeah. Oh man.
What did you think of my Scottish twin doing that?
It's pretty funny. I like what he's doing with the blade shade thing. It's pretty good to have someone kind of calling out shit and blading. So, yeah, I'm terrible with names, man. I always screw up names, so it was bound to happen. Someone's got to keep me in line.
The only one I thought was a bit off was when you did John Julio, and you stuffed up the John Julio. I'm like, oh yeah. Can I claim? Was that the one I did? I did it on purpose once. Yeah, yeah, and it was in a response to him, I think. But I'm gonna claim that was the case, even if it wasn't. That was good. And then this, I guess, another YouTube-based question, but like, is your work on YouTube, is that something that you can make a living off, or?
At this stage, no, but the hope, the dream is there. I think it's definitely could be possible. Like, I don't want to lose hope, but my advice to anyone that wanted to do it, I wouldn't go into it planning to live off it, because it would just it'll kill your motivation. At this stage, it's like my part-time job while I study, which is cool. But even then, I am very poor. So,
But it sounds to me like you, from what you've said, you really came at it from just doing it for the love, doing it because it's fun, doing it because it's an extension of what you already love to do anyway. So like when you see someone that's as involved in it as you are, you kind of, well, I know I did. I automatically went, okay, that's his thing, like that's what he's doing. He's doing it. He's doing the social media thing as a base for skating, but it's actually the more that we talk to you, it's the other way around,
Yeah, like one of the biggest motivations to get out and do the videos was to like keep track of my skating and to like keep me skating, because when I moved here to Wellington, I noticed I stopped skating as much and stuff, and I didn't like that. And I was like, I started to feel like I wasn't making any progress and stuff, and it was like this really bad zone. I was like, I should start like recording it to like keep track and like to motivate myself.
The videos and that kind of serve your skating, not the other way around. It's a really good approach. My question was like, if you're so into it, into the videos as well. Do you ever feel like you would leave New Zealand and try and do it somewhere else, or is it enough to just? Do you think there's enough of a future of it here?
I mean, I definitely wouldn't say no to going somewhere else to do it. I mean, because my Courtney, my partner, is from the States, so that's always been up in the air that we moved to the States one day. But yeah. I mean, I also had like last year, I was like looking anyway, because one thing, like when I moved here to go to uni and stuff, the one thing I learned is that the only thing, this is probably like most people, this is weird, but the one thing I only really care about is skating. It's like the one thing I actually know I definitely really like. So I was like looking for any way to do that for work, or like to let me skate more at least. And I was like asking a bunch of skate shops, a bunch of people in skating, like any chance I could like get in and work and stuff. And Matthias gave me some advice. He said like the best place to be if you want to do that is Barcelona. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to afford to move to Barcelona on the hope that I'll find a job. But I would never say no to that. Yeah. And definitely keep chasing the dream.
Even though Barcelona would be rad to go and skate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There was, I think like we were planning on going to there before COVID happened, I think, with Isaac, Cullen, and then we were planning a trip that was like going to happen when COVID happened, I think, which is so lame. But yeah,
it would be rad. And have you got any skate trips planned?
Yes. So I know with Isaac and them, they're going to the States again for Blading Cup, and yeah, I'm gonna tag along with that.
Sick.
Hopefully, yeah, it should be confirmed at this point. But yeah, that should be really cool. So yeah, we're gonna like skate around like LA for a bit, and then at the end, after like 2 weeks, stop at Blading Cup, which should be interesting. Yeah,
he organizes the shit out of those, eh? Like I've heard.
Yeah, very impressive. Like he's like a group chat with all the like spots he's got, and it's insane, dude. Like it's so like he's really thought it out. He's got like every spot that there is in that area listed out. It's crazy.
Speaking of content, like I wish he would produce and put more content out, because his throwaways are better than everyone else.
He's so good, man. It's like
incredible.
He stops inviting us overseas. Did you notice that, Liam?
Oh, because he knows we won't go.
Yeah, but it's the thought that counts, right?
I know. It's only fair, really.
I want to be invited.
Yeah.
He doesn't even invite me to spots when he goes around the corner to my house.
Yeah.
Actually, because I'm good for nothing. I'll come and film, but that's about it. And I'll probably do a shit job of that.
Yeah. If you're watching, Isaac.
While we're dogging on Isaac, the one thing that did bum me out though, when I went on Yarn's podcast, Isaac he posted up a big thing talking about how I was on there, and he's kind of saying all the stuff I missed about New Zealand's history and skating.
Yeah, and
that sucked to me because like I wasn't around for any of this history. I don't know anything about this like New Zealand history of skating, like at all. I mean, thanks to your podcast, I'm learning now, which is good. But yeah, and that was pretty, not cool to read at one point. But yeah, I know Isaac had good intentions with that one though. So shut up, he's the man. But yeah,
I don't remember seeing that, but
no.
All right, yeah,
we'll have to ask him about it.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I'm letting down the New Zealand scene, you know. No, it's
Well,
fine.
like you say though, if you started in 2009, it's not your fault that there was a whole history before you.
Yeah,
And-
I came into blading like right when it was like dying out. It's pretty funny. Like the chances of me getting into skating were so slim, man. Like to even see it, man. Crazy.
Yeah, because when we were growing up, it was on TV. There was ads, like TV2 featured in the title sequence. Like it was actually really visible, I guess, to people who didn't do it.
Yeah, I'd never seen it when I got into it. It's like there's so many coincidences that I even learned about what it was.
If it makes you feel any better,
could have been anything.
true. But if it makes you feel any better, Brandon, like Isaac used to skate around in a helmet and knee pads. Back in his history.
I think I saw some pictures.
So did we.
But you're a dad now, Liam, so you get that. Like I remember, like Zach used to get shit for wearing a helmet everywhere.
Yeah.
But look at him now, man. Like,
Yeah, one of the best skaters.
yeah.
Well, I reckon he's the best street skater this country's ever produced.
Yeah.
He's pretty fucking incredible, really.
Yeah.
considering what he does.
It's unreal. Yeah.
And even like when he has come out to comps, like he came out to we had a Richie Rowland memorial comp for a good friend of ours who died skating, and he just honestly he attacked the biggest obstacles in the park and just killed it. The whole day was awesome to watch.
Even at the Napier Blade Jam, he was like that. He was destroying the park, man. I don't think he skated during the like comp part, but in the like after the comp, like showing us all up, man. Like such a good skater, man.
And not that we want to turn this into an Isaac love fest, but even the I watched his 7 Rats leftovers section the other day. Well, it wasn't his section, but it was his clips in the leftovers. And even those leftovers were bangers too.
Yeah, he's a really good skater. He's a good dude too. He's a good dude.
He's the only one that's bombed the Domain Hill too with his pants down, isn't he?
Wow.
And he, you can finish that sentence if you want.
Defecated on the way down.
He took a shit going down that hill.
Oh my god, this is why this podcast exists, man. For me to find out about shit like that, man. The old New Zealand bladers did, man. What the fuck?
The funniest part about that, Brandon, is I was in the back of the car filming. He was doing it, and then Joss and Scott were bombing the hill behind him.
Oh god.
It
Oh
was close, man. It was close.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been anywhere else though.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh, that was hilarious. Going back to YouTube for a second, I heard a rumor your first popular video on your channel was about hating scooter kids. Like, what was your inspiration behind that? Because I know Joss isn't a big fan of scooters.
It's still my most viewed video, that one, which sucks. One day I'm gonna beat it, man. One day I'll beat it. So the story behind that one, I convinced my parents to get me like an expensive camera. I got like a camera for photography at high school.
Yeah.
And it cost my parents like almost $2,000 or something. And I was like, I mostly got it to film skating for make some edits. Don't tell them that. And then the first day I took it to the skate park, right? The first day I was filming a line. Looking back on this, I didn't have a good idea skating this line. I was skating through like on a Saturday, cutting through all the lines of the park. And I had my mate filming me on a skateboard. And
with your new camera.
Brand new camera, yeah. And then I saw it happen. In the middle of the line, the scooter kid just goes straight into like my friend on the skateboard filming, but like where he can't see. And he just falls, lets go of the camera, and it falls directly on the lens. And like, so it didn't break, luckily, but that like did some minor damage, but nothing that broke it. And that's I uploaded it, the clip to YouTube way back before I posted anything. And I called it it was called Why I Hate Scooterers, I think is what I called it originally, raw clip. And it blew up. I think mostly it got like, if I look at like where the views came from, there was like someone asked me to compilation of like hating on scooters. And I was like the follow-up video that it linked to. and it got me a whole lot of views, man. And then I look back at it now, I'm like, you know, I was skating the park the worst way to do it on a Saturday. I have a mate on a skateboard filming, which is like, he's just asking to get knocked off, you know, looking blind. The clip wasn't even worth it, I don't think, as well. And I'm like flipping out of the scooter, you know, it's like, and it also looks like I'm hating on all scooters. I like grew up, like I got into skating, mostly skating with scooters. So like, I definitely don't really resonate with me yelling, fuck scooter kids in this video, you know? And the comment section of it was crazy, man. I was in there as like I was probably like 14, 15, like just arguing with people in the comments. So at one point, I think I deleted them all at one point, so they're mostly gone. But yeah, that's funny. And I saw that video though too as a sign that I should post stuff to YouTube. I'm like, hey, one of the videos got 500,000 views, you know? So maybe it's a sign. Yeah, it's almost got just under 600,000 now, and I still haven't beaten it. It's before I even started making videos, it was at like 500,000. One day I'll beat it. It won't be my most viewed video one day, I swear. It'll be something better. Yeah. It's such a bad clip.
Riding the crest of the scooter hate revolution.
Should have dived into it, yeah. But yeah, it's a really, really bad video. I have no idea. Like, it's the most boring thing. Like, everything's over in the first like 10 seconds. Yeah, it's a really bad video.
That's the title, right? The title probably did it.
Yeah. And worst thing too is like I didn't get any money from that video because it was before my channel was monetized. So any ads and stuff, missed opportunity. So I think I tried to monetize it and they didn't let me. They said like it had like copyright issues or something, even though I don't know, like now I know it doesn't, but then I was like, don't want to risk it, you know?
Maybe you should make a number 2.
Yeah, why? Yeah. Yeah.
You could act the whole thing.
Yeah.
Get a dummy camera, just completely recreate it. Oh my God, that's not a bad idea. That could be the key.
Yeah, if you want a good payday, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, geez. Yeah.
Well, you can thank your partner, Courtney, for that question.
Oh, damn. That's a good question. Oh, man.
Hope I don't get her in trouble then. Hope I don't get her in trouble.
She's in trouble. No, that's good.
So before YouTube, like, what did you do for a job and like, why did you move to Wellington?
So I worked at McDonald's, that's like the only, it's not the only, I worked at McDonald's for a long time. I went out of high school, got a job at McDonald's and was working there. And then I did like a gap year where I was trying to work out what I was going to do. I was just working at McDonald's. And then I decided I should finally go to uni and I moved over to Wellington. It was like a 50-50 choice between going to Massey and Palmy and going to Vic here. Yeah. And I ended up coming to Wellington. This was the worst mistake of my life, man. I went here with a girl and it was really good. McDonald's was good because I got a job straight away when I came over here, working at McDonald's again. And I worked there for another 4 years or so. Was eventually like a manager.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I was working at McDonald's when I started making videos as well. So yeah, that's that history. But yeah.
So which McDonald's did you work at in Wellington?
The one by the train station, that one, Bunny Street. Yeah. And I do not miss those days, man. I still have like nightmares about that shit, man. It's horrible, man. I don't know how I survived the years working there, especially as a shift manager, man. There's so much fun. It's horrible, man. That's the motivation to make videos, man.
Not work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
The only reason I asked about where is because I have built a few stores around that Manners Street McDonald's.
Yeah.
And there are always people sleeping out front, sleeping rough, having to tread over them to get in or do stuff. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So this is a controversial question I'm going to ask you, and it's not YouTube related, but Elliott Unity or Savannah?
You know what's funny? I always called it Elliott Unity. Always. I think it must have been. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it must have been what Scott taught me. Yeah, I think he would have told me that. I get the Savannah argument though, and it makes sense to me. You know, like it does, but I still call it. Like I naturally call it alley unity. Yeah.
I'm glad, because that's what Daily Bread told us it was.
Okay.
Told us it was a savannah if you're 270 into it, like an
That's Scott
what
told
I
me that.
thought.
Yeah. It's not. See, now if I say a savannah, I think like a true savannah, like a true back unity.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like the step over. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Such a-
yeah.
I
It's a
don't
front
understand.
side backwards unity.
Yeah. But it's like the way your foot kind of goes. That's hard. Yeah. It's like back unity is easier, I would say. It's like true spin somehow. I don't know.
Without Daily Bread, we wouldn't know anything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
trick names.
because when I was trying to make like tutorials for grinds and stuff, I wanted to put the history of the tricks in it. And it was a nightmare to try to work out like who landed it first, who invented it, what the actual name of it is. It's an absolute nightmare, man. There's like no solid record of it anyway. And everyone disagrees, which is the worst part. No one wants to be like, it was me.
Even the Australians claiming the Royale is a shifty.
Yeah.
Shifty. Jeez.
Yeah, but they're weird.
Yeah.
So I want to chat about Lace for a minute, because you're like the first successful New Zealand kind of clothing skate brand since Infusion and Triforce, which are two brands you would have never heard of.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. Yeah.
Nah. Well, Triforce was a successful brand run by Nui, and Infusion was a brand run by me, sold at skate comps for beer money.
It was actually called it was actually called Inflision, not Infusion.
Well, that's because one of my logos looked like it was Inflision, like I'd done this Hong Kong Fooey logo and I did quite a shitty job of it.
Damn, that's
buy my t-shirts from Hallensteins to get them printed.
Oh, yeah. That's the way.
Again,
that sounds expensive.
DIY.
Very DIY. But what was kind of the drive for you to get into clothing and like own a brand?
That's funny. It was definitely YouTube. I was so right when I started making videos for YouTube, they changed the requirements for monetization, and I wasn't qualified anymore. And I was like maybe a month away from my first ever payout, and then they cut it off, so I didn't make any money anymore. And I remember someone mentioning that you can obviously you can sell shirts and stuff, and I was like, I don't just want to do like a merch company. I was like, I always had this idea with my cousin back in the day to have like a shop named Laced, that like it was supposed to be like a everything shop, and I had like our dream to like sell like skates and everything, and have like clothing and stuff. I was like, hey, why don't I just actually do that,
Yeah.
And that's where the motivation for that really came. It was also my I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, and I was like, it's perfect time to do that, and it started from there. Yeah.
So, and like, what percentage of your stuff is sold in the States with your kind of 40% viewership?
It's like probably like 80% of it, I'd say. Yeah, which is means a lot of money goes to shipping,
Yeah.
Which is a shame. But yeah, because I've done it a few different ways now. When I first started it, it was all like made to order stuff. Like it was made in the States and shipped directly to the person as they ordered it.
Yeah. And
then I went from that to doing it like the same kind of way, but different. It was like one where I had more control over it. And then now I stock it all, make it all here myself and ship it out myself. And that's definitely the better way to do it. The quality is so much better. I like it. But yeah, I've learned so much from it though. I never thought it'd be where it is today, ever, which is cool. When I didn't even know about Senate. Can you imagine that? Being a rollerblader, not knowing about Senate. When I got into blading, I didn't know about Senate. Not properly anyway. Like a lot of the famous Senate stuff, I don't recognize at all. At all. Which is like that's like cool. Rollerblading.
That's really cool that you did it. That you found it's better to do it yourself here.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah. It was like not seeing the products are shipping out, not like, it's just like how I haven't met anyone, much people that have like watched my stuff. It didn't feel real, when sales were coming through, and it didn't, it's definitely not the same. And making stuff to order, you definitely don't make as good a quality as if you actually have it made. And also, if you're actually like bulk buying a bunch of stuff, you're gonna be a bit more careful about like what you design and stuff, you know, because you've got a box full of shit in your house you got to get rid of, you know, which is another good way to put more.
Have you kept some of the stuff that you've made and just are you going to keep it and not sell it and just keep it untouched?
Yeah, I've tried to keep one of everything for a while, but I started to run out of room, so now, I've kept one of everything I really liked at this point. Yeah, but it's usually
only
like worn.
I remember back when Senate was cranking, like we used to be able to get like a catalog, like a mail order catalog, and go through it and go, yeah, I'll have one of those t-shirts, two of those t-shirts, one of those hoodies, one of those belts. And we could buy, I think I could remember buying t-shirts for like 30 US or something. And I just am kicking myself for not buying more of them and just putting them away.
Yes.
Not just for the fact of the resale, but some of the designs were so cool. And I remember buying these shirts and then just skating them to death till they were like torn to shreds.
Yeah.
It would be so cool to have
just
some
one
of them now.
Yeah, got to get two of every time you get one, just in case. Yeah. Just to have. Yeah, it's a shame that a lot of that's like lost now. I see every day though. I see someone pretending they're Senate selling shirts again, and it really annoys me, man. It's so annoying. They're like on like Redbubble or something, selling stolen designs, being like, "Oh yeah, the Senate started making shirts again." Like, fuck off.
There's some cool brands around.
If we ever do get around to actually pinning Brooke down and putting him on here, like that was going to be one of my questions for him. Was like, could it ever happen again? Like, would you start it up again?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I mean, the last few years would have been the perfect time to do it. You know, it would. He could do it whenever. Actually, it would definitely sell. You know, it would definitely sell. Everyone would buy it. Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the expectation with that Jump Street episode. When he talked about having this big thing to unveil. Everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, Senate's back!"
Yeah, because he put up on your rollerblading on Facebook, being like, "I got this massive project I'm working on. We're coming." You know, and it was like, "Damn, what's this gonna be?" And then to hear it's just NFTs, man. God, that was so disappointing, man. So disappointing. But I don't know. For people, he's doing the NFT thing right. You know, he's not doing a bad job. But I'm definitely disappointed.
I am super gutted about that kind of vintage rollerblading gear. Like it was so disposable back then, Joss.
Yeah.
Like, I remember having Rise Above shirts, that cool Fishbrain logo 50/50 shirt. Like,
I just want another Halo logo or like a knife. I just want another knife shirt.
And my parents, I was convinced like my parents had like the pot of gold in the roof of their garage with all my old shit, but I climbed up there and just found crap. Like there was none of my good stuff. I had Roadhouse wheels. I don't know where they've gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn,
yeah. I had a pair of Senate Ultra Wides for ages and I left them at my parents' house. And then I went back after like I'd kind of stopped skating. I was like, they must be there. You know, they're like black Ultra Wide Senates. They've got like the green $sign on them. Gone. Gutted.
Yeah. So much of that stuff is history and is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There was the wheel company I've recently, my favorite wheel company of all time, Conjure Wheels. They went out of business, and luckily, they stopped making wheels. Didn't really got it. They announced it right when they got some of them. So I've got a classic box here that I'm gonna hold on to forever. These are real sick wheels, man. So sad about that company, and never gonna get over it because they're like the only company that was like trying to do good packaging, like really caring about the packaging and stuff about their wheels.
Can you hold it up to the screen again?
Yeah. This one.
That is cool.
Yeah, they made collector's items, out of the
which is really cool. Yeah,
and they played with the profile.
Yeah, the profile is insane. It's like a extra slim, it's just really good for flat. It's so unreal, like so slim. Yeah, they like cut it down even more, but it's still got like a flat point. So I'm so gutted, man.
Do you remember the ultra wide frames?
Yeah, I do. Ben was the only one I've ever seen have a set in New Zealand.
Yeah, that was a weird idea.
I don't know if you'll know this, Brandon, but Senate made this really, really wide frame with a wheel that was way wider than the current wheelbase. So like, it's
It
not
was like a
even
40
comparable.
millimeter wide wheel.
Yeah.
What the? Hey? Wow. So like it wouldn't be
It was kind of
compatible.
like it was kind of like somewhere between rollerballs and mine skates.
Yeah.
Huh. Would that just be extra stable? What's the benefit? Yeah,
don't
just
know.
trying it because I can.
They
That's
had
cool.
a whole lot of money at the time.
Yeah. But yeah, Rob Kellett, man, Rob Kellett's such a good skater, man. He's like one of my favorite dudes, dude. Like the way he does his Instagram is like absolute goals, man. Every post. Yeah, like, and at least he got a pro wheel from them before they went. That's like, and it's such a cool wheel. He had like the box. It's like an iPhone. Like he thought about the unboxing where I don't know, it's really good. And he had the secret sticker underneath the wheels. Yeah. So cool, man.
So literally his pro wheel came out and then like a week later or 2 weeks later?
Yeah, yeah. And they said they only closed because they don't have the time to run it. Because it's not like they weren't selling. They were like really, like they disappeared in like a week. They'd be sold out every time. They didn't have the time to keep it going, which sucks, man.
Definitely sucks. So you're still super young. Like, do you have any goals in skating at your age or any upcoming projects?
Just keep getting better, pretty much. I want to keep making edits and stuff. Put that on the back burner. Lace is supposed to motivate me to do that as well. I always want to make an edit to promote a new line of products to get me out skating. But yeah, I've been trying to learn more vert skating. Back in the day, there's a young dude, couple young dudes here now, Malachi and Caius, they're brothers. They're like real young and they're real into vert. And it's been like a trip down memory lane for me, man, because that's what got me into skating at the start. And he's so good, man. Both these kids are so good at vert. And yeah, vert skating is so like, you never see it anymore. So it's been really interesting because it's so different too to every other part of blading. That's been a lot of fun for me recently because it's just, it's like starting from scratch again. You know, it feels completely new, which is fun. But yeah, just to keep skating, keep pushing myself. Don't get too comfy because I seem to do that too much. I think keep trying new things. Yeah.
From an ex-vert skater, vert's actually terrifying now, eh? Like it's so big.
Yeah.
It was always terrifying to me.
It was never terrifying to me back in the day, but fuck, jeez.
Wow. But I will say, like, occasionally when you like got confident enough to like do a grind, they always felt really cool when you could do like a couple of grinds.
Yeah.
It's just such a big ramp, man. It's so scary, dude. Like I always been put off skating it too, because you know when you see someone who can skate vert, it's like, wow, man, it's like so impressive. But now I don't feel like I need to be that good to go skate there. So because there's a few like really good skateboarders that skate there. They just, you need like, you see some kind of the park and you can just tell that they are like really good, they just skate differently. Yeah. That's the goal, I feel like that. Just the speed and everything's just different, like more in control, more power. Yeah.
You got to know how to crash too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Slide.
Gotta have pads.
Your knees have to definitely work pretty well.
Yeah. The other day, literally 2 days ago, I smashed my knee because I've been trying to learn inverts, right? And I came forward too far and I've like twisted my knee a bit and it's so smoked now, man. Yeah. My knees are so weak, man. Like my whole life, I remember at the first Hate City comp and the warm-ups, I like bumped my knee on a trick and like my knee just gives up, man. I like can't walk. It sucks. It sucks so bad. That's only going to get worse for me, right?
I can guarantee you that's only going to get worse too.
Yeah, as you get older.
Yeah.
The terrifying thing about inverts is actually like inverts are easier the higher you go.
Yeah, that's what they're telling me. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it low. Like you've got to get, into the decent side of vert so your feet properly pop up.
Yeah.
And you've got the space and time to get back on them.
Because I feel like you have to, I've never done one, but I guess you just have to commit to it to actually even get it.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing it like below the coping And my feet definitely go on the ground before my hand. So I'm worried that if I do it at the coping, I'm just gonna like shin myself, you know?
Yeah.
And that's all that's in my head. But yeah, everyone's told me like, oh, the faster you go, the higher you go, the easier it is.
Yeah.
So
It's so
Gotta do
weird. So it's terrifying, but it's actually so true.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's a trick I never thought I'd learn as. So I've never been good at the going upside down thing, especially backwards. But the way there's a video I watched, it was by This Is Soul, that really broke it down for me, where it doesn't feel like to me, whenever I see someone do an invert, it looks like a backflip. But
Yeah.
when I do it, it doesn't feel like that. It's more like a 180 handstand, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm backflipping, which is
Kinda just
that made
relates
it
to
go
doing
from being
hair.
impossible. Yeah. Yeah. It made it go from being impossible to like, oh yeah, I could probably do it, which is good. So yeah.
So going back to lace, like your logos are always super fresh and your like clothes are always really well received. Like, do you do the design work yourself?
Yeah.
Or do you outsource
At this stage, yeah, I designed everything at this stage, I think still,
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, usually take inspiration from somewhere and do my own
Yeah.
version of it. Yeah, it's all, hopefully I'm not forgetting something, but I'm pretty sure everything on there I designed at this point. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry if I'm forgetting someone, but yeah. I don't like it like that because it's like, not only is it, I don't have to feel like I'm ripping someone off, you know,
Yeah.
but it's fun to kind of like learn new things and, you know, push it and stuff. But yeah.
I was gutted I missed out on lace socks. I was just about to buy them before you changed your sourcing model.
Ah, yeah.
Because then I could rock lace socks to work at my business attire.
Well, I might have a top secret leak that no one should talk about, but I might
Exclusive.
I might be working on some New Zealand made socks now, maybe.
Yeah.
That's it. No more spoilers.
If they could fit my massive hooves, that'd be awesome. So a couple other questions. So are we gonna ever see a Welly Tapes Volume 2?
Ooh, I'd never say never. I'm down because that was my VOD, right? Was
Yes,
it?
VOD. I actually really rated it. I watched it again the other day. I was down in Wellington staying at an apartment for something, and they had no TV, but I had a hard drive. And so the only thing I was watching was skating, and I watched your Welly Tapes while I'm Welly.
Damn, dude, that's like that was a fun video, that one. Like, it's Slug, he always comes through for me, man. He's such a good one, man. He's like helped me out so much, man. Real good dude to skate with. But yeah,
I mean, Volume 2.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah, it's funny. Like I would be having to plan that out so hard to get tricks, but Slug, I'd be like, oh yeah, I want to film another street edit. He'd be like, oh yeah, okay. And he, like in one day, he'll get so many clips, man. I'd be like, fuck. It makes it look so easy, man. It's good. Real good dude to skate with.
And what was it like traveling around the South Island for a month, wanting to go for a skate and dragging your partner to skate park?
Yeah, that's where I'm very lucky. She's so patient. I look back at some of the stuff that I've dragged her through, man. Just wow, man. That was a really fun trip though. Like, because what I learned on that trip is almost no New Zealanders like travel around New Zealand and do all the like touristy shit, you know. Like every place I went, they're like, "Wait, you're from New Zealand?" You know, like no one else is. You know, it was really cool though. That trip though, I filmed the whole thing. I would never ever do that again. I think not only, I don't know, bad videos, and like if you're filming a holiday, it's not a holiday, you know. It's like you don't need to film everything, you know. I would tell me that if I went back. But yeah, it wasn't actually too bad to drag Courtney around to skate park. She's not hesitant about it. She's really good like that. She would come. These days might be a bit different, but yeah, she's been good like that. She's always very helpful to me, always very supportive, very lucky. Like she's filmed a lot of the stuff too, which is good.
Hey, that's rad.
Yeah.
I remember the 3 times I brought my now wife to skate parks. First time, I think I knocked myself out in Manukau. I think the second time I dislocated my knee and then popped it back into place.
Oh my God.
And then the third time I knocked myself out again, I think. So she never came again.
Jeez, that's like bad omen.
That's what I said. So she never came again.
The last time I took my wife to the skate park, she broke her wrist, and then the next time I took her, she broke her shoulder.
So you're the bad omen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the other way around.
Yeah.
It's funny, Courtney too. She when she skated as a kid, like on rollerblades in the driveway, she either chipped her teeth. She's probably hearing me now, like cringing now, getting this wrong. She either chipped her front teeth or broke her wrist, one or the other, and it's like made her really not enjoy any kind of wheel sports. That's all she thinks of now. So yeah, never really skating with me, you know, but still comes along though, which is good.
I'm going to move on to just showing some photos to mix it up. So I'll share my screen awkwardly because I don't do this very professionally.
Yeah, it works. It's a shame the videos don't work.
I know, that's really annoying, eh? Oh, hold on. I've got it on the wrong. Here we go. Sorry about that.
Oh, no.
We get videos to work.
Yeah. So just going to go through each of these photos and just want to hear your opinion, but I thought this was pretty buzzy.
Yeah, this is definitely like a peak, you know. This is insane. The fact that this happened, it's still unreal to me, man. I definitely got very lucky. Like the title, Blade Voice of the Year, such a sick title, you know, like what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know, definitely really hyped. Yeah, like yeah, I got like if that didn't happen that year, I don't know if this would ever happen, you know.
Yeah.
Very hyped about this. Definitely a highlight.
So I thought that was pretty rad, you know, young boy from New Zealand getting that ahead of so many other YouTube channels and one magazine, which magazine kind of followed from Daily Bread.
Damn, yeah, One Mag. That was the best part, that it's One Mag. But yeah, there's always these the polls at the end of every year, right? That all the magazines do, and I'd like never shown up in it ever. But then this year I did, and I was like, it just being in it, I was so hyped. I was like, yo, I actually made the like top 4 or whatever, top 3. And I got really lucky that it's kind of like a weird title where like, who do you even like write in for that title? You know, like it's not like it's YouTube channel of the year or something, you know, it's like Blade Voice, which meant I was up against like it was Tom Moyes, which is crazy. He got there, it's like his first year making like videos, one of his first years, and he's up there with me, which is crazy. And then it was I hope I'm not wrong about it. It was the announcer of Winter Clash was the other guy I was up against, which is like, that's a completely different category, you know?
Yeah.
It's like he got robbed, you know? That's different. Yeah. But yeah, I'm very happy about it. So hyped. I'm going to keep that picture forever, you know? It's like it's a pop-up I have on my stream that I forgot about that I keep pulling up.
I'd plug the shit out of that as long as I could.
Yeah.
Next one, I wanted to ask you, why didn't you take your shirt off like the other two boys?
Damn, I would never ever do that, man. You know, this pic is so funny. I keep looking at it, and everyone, the main response I got to this was people saying like, how tall are you? And I'm not that tall. I don't know. I was like trying to remember if I had skates on or not and shit. I was like, but yeah, no shade to Meat and Peter.
They do look a lot shorter than you though.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. That was a really good day though, too. That one.
So what were the placings? Did you win that one?
Nah, it looks like I won. I guess I got second. Yeah, I got second. I think, did Meat get first or did he get best trick? I think he got best trick. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, second place for me.
Oh look, it's a good podium anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that park is so fun, man. Just the setup there. Napier has always been a real good park, and even like the skate zone days, it was always like a highlight for me, man. That park, it's good shit.
I think everyone liked it. Lived there. Even people that lived there loved it.
Yeah. It was like, I remember the first time I skated at Skate Zone. It was like the first time. It was like I was at a Bladers park. That's what it felt like. There was like every time I went there, it was like there's always rollerbladers there. It was sick.
Yeah.
Something like falling on wood, like it's just feels so much better.
So much better. Yeah, and all the like, because at Palmy there's nothing but ledge. It was all ledge, not a single rail. So going there, it's all rail, which was, it was scary, but a good change of pace, you know.
I remember being at an old Napier comp. Do you remember, Joss, when you tried your first 360 salt?
Yeah, I do.
And you thought you dislocated your thumb, and Scott was trying to slam it back into place for you, but just broke the shit out of it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it wasn't dislocated. It was it was broken. But the Napier Park was in a cool location as well. I always liked it. How it was always sunny.
Yeah,
big steps to sit on, and it was just a cool vibe.
Definitely was. I'll move on to the next one. Found this kind of random.
Oh God!
What's
oh
this
my
about?
God! This. So I was working at McDonald's. My boss like kind of forced me to do this. It was they needed they're taking pictures for like the people safe, which is what's it called, like where you report like near misses and stuff, right? It was like a new company they're bringing in to do it, and she made me go do it. I kind of didn't have an option. I got to do it. I got a free meal, so like whatever. And then I had to take this picture. I was on a poster at all the stores around New Zealand, all of them. And I was wearing my name badge, and they covered it up with the speech bubble there, which I thought was funny because you weren't meant to be wearing your name badge.
So you were famous before you were a YouTuber?
yeah. It was in the stars, right? It was going to happen. I can't believe that, man. I would have never said yes to doing that, man. It's not worth it. It's funny though.
You look so young.
Yeah, geez. Yeah, I must have been like 15 or something, probably. 15,
I'm surprised
16.
you didn't have to get parental consent for that.
Yeah.
Based on your age, you're pretty young.
Yeah, I must have been like 16, I think. But yeah.
Next one.
I was like, I showed up to work, and then the restaurant manager was like, "Oh, we need someone for photos. You'll go, right?" And I was like, "I guess."
Next one.
Oh God!
What would possess you to skate a wet bowl?
So we were filming for a promo for Lace, me and Slug, and it was a dry day, and I'd filmed a bunch of clips of Slug that day, and we got on to filming me, and it like rained, and we were rained out, and this was like the only day I had to skate. I was this line of Lace products, right, was like sitting at home, and I was like, if I don't finish this today, it's like I'm gonna have to wait ages to get this out, you know. And it dried up enough. I tested out this bowl. I was going for a 720 out the bowl, right, which I had landed off camera earlier that day. And I was testing it out, and I was like, oh, I'm not slipping at all. It's fine. And I was like, okay, Slug, I'm ready. Let's get this done. And then that was the worst fall ever, man. Like I was already injured in the first place. Like been having a really bad like problem with my feet and stuff for a while. And I was kind of like, so still already a little rusty from that. But then, as soon as I went down the ramp here, like I lost all traction, and like all the impact went to my knees and my hips, and I felt like a horrible pop. And I was worried I'd never be able to get out of that bowl, man. I was like, so lucky nothing broke, man. It was the most awkward bail I've ever had, dude.
What are you actually doing? Are you going towards the coping there, or did you jump in to there?
So I dropped in on the far side, and I'm coming across, and I washed out like straight away. As soon as I touched that water, no traction. And I go up and hit the vert with my knees, like in front of me. Like, and my legs go like that and go onto my knees, like bam, into the like it's my legs ain't meant to bend like that, you know. Oh.
You got to watch the footage, Joss. It's actually like the most awkward looking crash I've seen in a bowl in a long time.
Like,
sorry to bring up a bad memory.
Yeah. I still the other day I think we got rained out. Oh no, I went to like a Newland skate park here, and it's half the park never dries, and it's like a new park like that. So and I was skating in the quarters, and it's like still wet, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Haven't I learned yet? You know, I'm gonna get smoked again for no reason.
Yeah, days of skating in the rain are long gone, I think.
Yeah. I used to actually, I think if it wasn't for skating in the rain, I would have never learned to grind quarters, which is funny because I found I could never grind quarters. I remember asking all the bladers, I could never get the angles right. And I'd never wax it or anything. But then one day at Palmy, we got rained out, and I was just like, I'll give it a go. And it worked in the rain. And it's kind of a rough park. That's probably why it wasn't slipping out. But so yeah, I skated in the rain a decent amount back when I was younger, which is funny. Like I liked it because things were slippery. You know, when it just rained, like coping's nice and slippery, and generally no one's in the way. You just got to not slip over.
There's probably something in that though. The surfaces back in the day were pretty average.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, the new parks, you don't want them to even be slightly wet. They're so slippery, which is a good thing because then when it's dry, you can just slide. It's good.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Next question I want to ask you. Oh, sorry, go on. What is this spot? Because I've seen clips of you on Slug, and it doesn't really make sense. Like, is it a stage? Like, what is it?
So it's at Massey University in Palmy, and it's like right in the middle of it. I don't know why. It's just like maybe they use it as a stage, but I don't know. It's just like a slippery wooden drop, pretty much. Yeah. It's like level with the ground almost, which is really weird. It doesn't really make any sense.
Because you drop off at one end,
Yeah. So it's probably like I think there's a step onto it too. It's like a step high, and then it's a big drop off the other end. Well, not a big drop, but yeah, like it's a unique obstacle. And definitely one of Slug's like favorites. Like it's a Slug spot, you know, says slide to drop. That's him.
He's definitely a
cool photo,
next one. I wanted to ask you a question about this rail because I've never seen anyone skate it, and I kind of feel that you've just hidden this one to yourself.
This one, no one's ever wanted to come skate it with me. I haven't been there in a while now. I tried to get Slug to come skate it with me, but it's never, I don't know, we never got around to it. It's in Massey University here in Wellington.
Yeah.
And it's a little sketch. And it was like my go-to spot when I moved here because it was right by where I was staying. So one side, it's like really low. Because you go from like the top over there, it's like a little car park. And you got to like do a little bit of a gap to it, but it's probably like below, it's like knee height. And then it's just a nice long rail to drop. That thing has smashed me a few times now though, man. Like I haven't been there in a while because it's not as fun as I remember it being.
I actually almost included like a snapshot of one of your bails where you almost hit your head on that.
It might have been this screenshot, right? Is it the next ones? Nah, maybe not. I don't know.
When you switched up to topside?
Oh yes. Yes. I remember that. But the thing that's bad about this rail is it's like a low rail for jumping on, but you take the fall of a high rail, you know, like because the other side's so high. So yeah, it's fun though. It's a good spot.
I've literally never seen any clips from anyone else on this ever.
Yeah, I remember I was walking past it in the middle of the night with some of the non-skating mates when I was a student. And I was like, holy shit, this rail looks perfect. And it's like right around the corner from me. I was like, what? How have I never seen this?
That's really cool. And now I have rated some of your Facebook archives.
Oh no.
So I thought this was quite a cool shot.
Oh yeah.
It's a nice photo.
But it kind of highlights like you're actually really good at topside tricks on ledges and you're strangely confident at them. Like even in the promo, you know, you did your fakey 3 top pawn and then reverted out of it. And you did it super clean and real fast. Like
I'm so hyped on that clip, by the way. It's like that day I had no plans of landing that trick, and something about that ledge and alley top pawns, man, it just works. But yeah, I definitely am very hesitant on top sides. I'll say that now. Back then when I was skating, I wasn't the same, but these days, I definitely, I don't feel super confident at them. Ever since switching to flat, to be honest. But
it doesn't translate though. Like you're still doing it, and it doesn't look like you're hesitant. But
that's what I like to hear. Wait, this I used to skate this spot. I don't know why now, because it's in like a pool at the Memorial Park in Palmy, and it's like the roughest ledge ever. And I was doing 0 fishes there. That's a 0 fish. I don't know how the fuck I could never do that now. And I did a little edit that day, I think. There's back in the Razor SL days. Those are the days, man. I used to go there after high school like once a week, because there's like really good rails just behind me that I used to train on hard that I like probably couldn't even like do a single grind on now. They're like good like waist tight rails. I used to always skate somehow. Training.
Zero fish ain't easy on a ledge. So,
yeah, I
That's
want to
cool
bring
photo.
it back.
very cool photo. Next one is when you were trying to challenge Stefan Brando.
Oh, geez. That's the pool is right behind us now in this picture. It's in the same spot. I don't even know why I did that. The top of that roof is like on a steep angle too. So you like drop in, hit a flat, and then drop off, and you're landing in like a bank as well.
Yeah.
I think one of my mates just told me I should try it. And they wanted me to grind that little ledge, I think, off the roof. And I was like, nah. But yeah.
That would be cool though.
Yeah. I was a little too short there. But yeah. I like the edit that's from too. That's one of my favorites. Oh,
I don't know if I've seen that one.
yeah, which one is it? I can't remember. It's one of my favorites there. I think it's one I called it Smile Back, I think.
Now, was there anyone in the toilet at the time that you were climbing over?
Nah, there's no one. That's the thing I miss about Palmy is the fact that when you go street skate, you can have a spot to yourself. Never happens here, man. There's always someone. Which is, that's like back to the first thing I was saying, where it's just a different vibe. I grew up with like skating with no audience. That's how I preferred it, all by myself, or like we're just with a couple homies, and here it's all like, you got to be showing off pretty much, which is different. Yeah, this one. Look how sunburnt I am in that. This is such a good picture, man. That was me when I won the under 16 nationals. That's the first comp. Yeah. The first blading comp I entered, and the first one I won. So I was like, yep, 1 for 1 streak. I was so hyped that night, man. So hyped. And the shine on the medal was so good. I still got that medal. It's right here. Those skates. Good
back when you rode for Adidas.
Yeah.
Can't believe you got a medal when you won a skate zone comp. I just got like a $10 mixture of lollies.
I came back with like a new jug bag and a bunch of wheels. It was so sick, man. Yeah. I might have even got cash. Maybe I can't remember winning cash. I don't know. Maybe not. That doesn't seem right.
I didn't even get a certificate. Pat MacGyver, what's going on?
Hey.
Didn't we win cash at that Vegas comp years ago? I'm pretty sure I remember going to
the school. Yeah, I think we
did.
did.
At the school. I remember going there. I thought we won like money.
Yeah, we did. That was Stacey put that on, I think.
I think I got like $50 or something. I was blown away.
Oh, I thought we got more than that.
Yeah.
I did win one Napier comp and got money. Was that 2001? I think. And that basically paid for all our beers that night.
Damn, that's the one. Yeah.
Was that the Napier comp?
That's the same one. Yeah. Good times. Just running a front 7 there somehow. I don't know how. I remember accidentally doing a 9. That's the first time I ever done a 900. And it was Jamie was trying to film me, I think. It must have been a different day.
So you were 14 doing forward 7s over the launch box.
Yeah, this is crazy to think about now, man. That's different, completely different mindset. Yeah. So doing front 7s and my Chris Haffey rims back in the rims days.
Yeah.
Jamie must have given me those, I think, too. So just good back when he was on the team. I would have had, I think I had size US 13 Razor Genesis before he got me in skates that actually fit me. All right. And it was horrible, man. But yeah.
Next one's another rims photo.
Oh, this is where I learned about the teapot stance.
I've got the crane arm.
Ah, yeah. It's like he does the claw sometimes. Or it's cool. But yeah, this is I look back on this day as this is kind of sad to say like this, but the best time the best I ever was at skating handrails. This was like the way I wanted to be for skating handrails. I was still 14 at the time. I looked so sunburned still to think about. But I remember because Jamie was like training me up, Jamie and Scott. But Jamie was telling me like he was really good for that. He'd always like push you past your limit, and he had like kind of goals for me. And this was the one day I hit the goal where it was like, because before this, every other handrail I'd hit, it took a lot of psyching up to do, like a lot of time to hit it. But this day we pulled up in the transit van, bunch of bladers in Wellington, and I just like hit it like straight away. And I remember being like, that's what I need to do from now on. But then we barely skated handrails at all after that. So I completely lost it, back to square one. But yeah, I would love to go back to that rail too, because just to see what it was like. I don't even know where it is, but I know Scott, he was doing it like an alley top pulling down it, and he hit his knee on, like, you see there's like a bolt sticking out. He hit his knee on that halfway down, and I think that's why we never went back, because it's not a nice rail because of that. Like on the support bars, there's like a bolt that sticks out. Or if you swing around, you got to smack into it.
Oh, you're still young enough to get good at rails, Brandon.
Hopefully, yeah.
Next one I just thought was pretty funny.
Oh god, I love that ledge, man. I could do any trick on that ledge. Oh, so much shit to that ledge. But yeah, I used to like go skate it after we had like finished early on Wednesdays at high school, and we'd go down and skate. And I took photography, right? So we'd be like taking photos, and we always do like a photo shoot on the ledge like this. And I was doing stupid shit like this, like look back, fucking alley Sawyer.
Oh, that's what that is. I wondered I thought it was a talk show when you were just staring at the camera.
It might have been a talk show. From memory, yeah, that would make more sense actually. I don't know. I might have been going. I thought I was going to alley, but I don't remember. It could be
a pretty funny photo. I just thought looking at it.
Those liners are terrible, by the way. Those truss liners, they don't have a tongue. That was the worst thing I ever bought. They're horrible.
Are they the Amor ones?
Yeah, I think they were. I got them from Archival. They were like one of the first ones that were made to downsize for skates. They're like made for Valos, and I got them because all my razors, the tongue used to twist, and it pissed me off, man. I would like sew them shut, and I'd still twist. So I was like, I'm getting this liner with no tongue, and then that was a bad idea. That's really bad. They're like memory foam, which you think would be comfy, but it's like really rough. Like it wasn't comfortable at all. They were horrible.
Onto the last photo. I wanted to ask you, do you know who the guy is that's holding the sledgehammer?
They kind of look familiar, but no, not straight away, no.
No guesses?
He's a veteran of the sport.
Wait, oh man. No, I don't even have a guess, man. What? Uh-oh. No, yeah.
Just chuck it.
Should we let the viewers comment and try and guess?
Just leave it. Oh man, no, you gotta tell me. What big mistake have I made?
You're the guy in the foreground with the camo hat that he stole from me as my co-host.
Okay.
The other guy's a vert skater. There's a hint.
Had a wheel.
Oh my god, am I really blanking this?
Had a pro.
Had a wheel. Had a pro skate. What?
Pro skate, pro wheel.
Oh my god, that's just making me look. I don't have any idea. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea. I'm hoping that
Papamoa, New Zealand.
That's probably not going to make it clearer, Scott. Oh, Josh, shit.
Oh wait,
begins with an S.
Scott.
It is.
It is.
Got it.
This is okay, I feel bad now, but I'm sorry. I apologize, Scott.
You don't need to feel bad. It's Scott Bentley.
Okay, you see, Yeah,
We
like
kinda
I
just
know
wanted to show
nothing
the
about
photo 'cause
Scott
it's really
Bentley.
funny.
Is that bad? I know nothing about Scott Bentley.
Well, hopefully one day we'll have a podcast with him and you can
Yes.
hear all about his history.
Yes, please. Yes. I
Or
know the
you'll hear
name. Though. I
absolutely
know the
nothing
name
and
for real.
we'll just
I
talk
know.
shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy that that guy came second in the first ever X Games on street.
Jeez. Okay. This is why
Yeah.
we need some rollerblading history books for me to read.
And
Yeah.
so he came second in the first ever X Games, and then he broke my sledgehammer.
God. Wait, yeah, what's the context of that? Was
Uh,
We're dropping hammers.
dropping.
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, I'll stop sharing now. And we're on the final leg because I know this is well past bedtime.
Yeah.
And onto a few guest questions. And I'm hoping I pronounce names right too.
It's hard. It's so hard, man.
It's definitely hard. And Josh, jump in if you've got any final questions too when you're ready. But who influences his design and style choice of his clothing line? Next
So
question's from Xander.
Xander. Oh, okay. Shout out Xander. He's such a good dude, man. He's so good. So a lot of the inspiration I get from this this clothing brand called Teddy Fresh. They wear this sort of like teddy bear thing I have on my helmet and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes from there. It's like a YouTuber's merch kind of, but it's like I got massive inspiration from that. It's kind of the same thing I'm going for. But otherwise, yeah, it's just anything. Like if I see something that gives me an idea, like another shirt or something, I'm like, I should do it. And yeah, these days I'm trying to only make stuff when I'm inspired by something instead of forcing something to happen. But yeah, that's mostly it. Yeah.
And then I've got a few from Xander, but why do you care so much about the source to sale business model?
Source to sale? Yes. Okay, I get what that. So they mean like, I don't know. I guess is so what they mean by that is like I care about like who's involved, like all the people who make the shirts, the people, all the way through the supply chain, how they're getting treated. It just doesn't seem right to me to be making money off when someone's getting screwed at some point.
Yeah.
And it's like the world we like live in now, it's surprisingly hard to like guarantee that someone isn't getting screwed in the line. It's really hard. Like even if you're like a big company, it's hard to do, Yeah. And like, yeah, just, I guess also from being like a minimum wage worker and shit, in New Zealand where like there's like, you get paid at least a decent, like low standard, and it sucks and you get like treated like shit. I don't want to be a part of that. And if I have the option to change that, then I want to, as well as like trying to make things as less bad for the planet as possible as well. Cause like every day I see how bad clothing is for the environment. And I'm like, dude, why am I making clothes? But so you got to try to listen to as much as you can,
A lot of people don't understand the clothing thing too. It's that it is really destructive.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah. That's why
it's cool that you're aware of that because, it's something that a lot of young people, I'm calling you young. Yeah, I'm calling you young, don't get it. So that's cool that you do.
Yeah, like that's why I also, one of the other main reasons I switched to make it in New Zealand was so that I can try and make stuff locally in New Zealand. So at least know if you're in New Zealand, you should be getting paid at least like minimum wage in New Zealand. Yeah. But I haven't quite got there yet. But the other thing was like to control everything, like to know everything about if it's made here locally. And also it made me make better quality products. And if you make a better quality product, then it will last longer, which is kind of a bit better than making some piece of crap, that'll break in like a week and then straight to the trash. Yeah. So yeah.
Another question from Xander. This isn't from this time, but he asks us every time we do a podcast.
Yeah, I know the one.
What's your death row meal?
He's asked me this beforehand, and I don't know. I really don't have a good answer to that.
You can say McDonald's if you want to.
Yeah, I never liked McDonald's until I worked there, which is kind of scary. I was always my last choice, but when I worked there, I started liking it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really like a good like homemade burger. That's definitely got to be it. And fries. It's like one of my go-to favorite meals. I do like Mexican as well. Favorite slice of all time is lolly cake, which when you go outside of New Zealand, no one knows what the hell you're on about. Even when you mention a slice, they don't even know what a slice is in the States, man. I'm like, how do you live, man? But yeah, it's got to be something like that. But yeah,
there's
like,
so much sugar in that one bit of lolly cake.
yeah, like when you make it, it's like, oh my god, what am I eating? But yeah,
It's one thing not to give your kids.
yeah.
And
But yeah,
another Xander question. Why is there a guy outside your studio that always peeks in?
Does he? Does he? Oh, like
In the background, if you're doing
He's
like
like
a
a mannequin,
filming something, and they can see a window out or someone looking at your window.
I think if he means like the mannequins in my shot, when I did the 3D scene, right? That you have the first thing you do is you bring in like a person for scale. And I was like, yeah, why not just leave them there and just have them just out of shot, so people are like, what the hell is going on? You know, that's pretty much the story for that.
And the mannequin.
Yeah, I think if that's what he means. I hope there isn't like some other shots where there's people lurking in the background that I haven't noticed. That'd be a bit more concerning, but
well, we've solved a mystery. That's good.
Yeah.
Now this one's from Kavar Cameron. I think I'd probably stuffed your name up. Sorry. How has blading affected your outlook on life?
It's a huge influence on it. Like, I feel like a lot of it's taught me a lot, man. Like there's nothing like battling with a trick, you know. There's learning the skills from like the patience and like stuff from learning a trick. I think it's useful like everywhere, man. Like it's nothing like it, man. Like it's kind of insanity, you know, to like push yourself through that, but to see like that it's worth it in the end when you make it. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably not the best answer to that, but it's affected my life a lot. Yeah,
I think it's a good answer. And now
I always had the argument as well. Sorry to interrupt. I always argued that skaters are way better drivers than normal people.
You can spot the gap.
You can spot the gap.
True.
You know when to go. Like, yeah, that's kind of unrelated, but yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I think you're doing a lot of like patience, kind of though, and like I don't know,
persistence. You're doing a lot of persistence.
Yeah, persistence. Yeah, because I mean, there's always that trick that gets you screaming. You know, that's kind of not patient, is it? But yeah.
You learn skate park etiquette too.
Yeah.
As a rollerblader, I don't think a lot of sports have you know, scooter riders definitely don't have skate park etiquette, but they're not good ones. But
yeah.
And I also find sidewalk etiquette. As a rollerblader, you know how to navigate a sidewalk, especially
Yeah. Yeah. You can't hog the footpath, man.
Yeah.
God.
And then this one's another one from Kavar, but what's your experience of what attracts people to blading?
I think there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that do it. I know that, like, obviously, like having videos online and stuff is a good part of that. Like especially kind of giving like a real, like no filter kind of look at skating. I think that's super important, because there was something that like when even in, like me going through skating, there was like none of, where like you see the full journey of someone doing like a scary trick. You'd never see that. You'd always see just the finished, like landing the clip first try kind of look in an edit, you know? And I think that's something I try to do on my channel, is to show that like, not only like you don't have to land everything first try, but you don't have to be like super good to have fun. But that's the good thing about YouTube, I think, too, and videos and stuff. I think that helps get people into blading, because it's, you know, you can learn any trick, you can get inspired by so many different people, so many different edits. And there's heaps of things though, like one of the biggest, most important ones I think there is, though, to get people skating, is to just go skating yourself and have fun going skating yourself, because people see that, you know, a lot of people have never seen blading these days, and they'll see you having fun and be like, maybe I should try it out, you know, or people will be like, oh, I remember when I used to skate, I should I should get back into it. And just you being there is a really good way to do that. And
if you talk to most of the people, if you go back to all of the times we've asked everyone on this podcast, like, how did you get into it? They basically said it's because they saw someone doing it and it looked fun, and they're like, I'll try it.
Yeah. That's as simple as that, at this point.
Yeah.
That's why every time you go skate, you feel good about it. You might have inspired someone. But there's a good tip that I got from from Law, which is funny. But yeah, every time you're at the park and someone's like curious about skating, you should always try to be, patient and helpful with them, like tell them about it. But to tell them where to get skates, you should keep those like skate like catalogs you get from skate shops, or like ask for them, because they usually give them out for free. Because that way they have like something with the written down names and prices and a place to buy it, and they can look at it, versus like you just telling them. Because I remember even when I was younger, people ask us like, where do you get your skates? And we'll say like aggressive more, and they'll have no idea what we're saying, and they'll hear it differently, like aggressive more. And like, even myself, I didn't even know they were called aggressive skates for years, man. I was like, I had no idea, man. Like, and the day I learned that it was called aggressive skating was the day I could actually get aggressive skates, because I could put that in Trade Me, and find the skates I'm looking for, not like freestyle skates or something.
Yeah, true.
So, and you get that from like word of mouth and like meeting people, seeing them around.
Just need a whole bunch of skate stickers.
Yeah. Calvin keeps me topped up, so need to stick them everywhere.
That does kind of show you still how it is quite underground in New Zealand still.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it never really has been very mainstream at all here ever. Like, as compared to some other parts of the world, I suppose.
Yeah. It's still a lot of, like, so many people have never seen it, usually younger people, but yeah.
Or even know how to access it,
Yeah. Another, the name and where to go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Callum's got a question. How do I say it?
Yeah, I know what he's gonna ask. Yeah. He's always on about this.
Can you please skate like we know you can at comps in front of the boys? And if you're holding back, how come?
Like, he's told me about this before, and it was like I was saying earlier. It's like a weird mindset I get in when I'm skating with, and like a big group or at a comp or something. It's like like getting a bad mindset where I like took myself out of it, like where I'm in the warm up with people, I'm like, and everyone's like lacing stuff, and then I like just can't even land like the simplest trick, and then I start to think like, what trick am I even going to try? And then I just end up in it like bummed out, I'm just like, oh, that, and I still like, that's what happens every time. That's why I get like that. But I don't know. I'm learning to try stop that. Because he's really good at it, man. Callum, he just goes for it, man. It's so, I wish I could do that, man. I wish I had that skill. But he'll just go in there and he'll be just throwing hammers, man. I have to work up to it, man. And if something goes wrong on the way, under pressure, it's so hard for me to recover, man.
Yeah.
It's like so much of it is like a confidence thing, like
it's a mental.
You need to like, I know there's like, I remember there's a video like of Chris Happy talking about like what being juiced is like, right? It's when you like you're so hyped and you're like fully focused and you have like zero doubt that you're gonna like miss a trick. Because as soon as you have like that one doubt, then like, that's when things go wrong, So if you like always land something, or you like always, you're on a session where like you're just landing stuff over and over again, and you're doing stuff harder and harder, that's when you're going to just do better and better, But when you don't get that going, well, at least when I don't get that going, then it's real hard to recover.
Yeah, I definitely feel that Callum's got that, because he skates at everything at Mach 10.
Yeah.
Just goes so fast.
Yeah.
I don't even think I can skate that fast.
Yeah. He's done some real cool shit, man. It's real impressive. I've got to channel my inner Callum, man.
Yeah. Skate fast. Now, quite fitting, but your last two questions are from your boy, Slug.
Oh.
And fellow Shodcast alumni. So injuries aside, what age do you reckon you're going to keep doing trick blading to?
Trick blade. Honestly, I don't want to put a date on it. I'm just going to go for as long as I can. I have no retirement plan, Yeah, I'm going to, I know Slug, he's always talked to me about like multiple times. He's been like, oh, when I hit this age, I'm going to like just chill out on skating. You know, I've never thought like that. I do not want to even think about that, man. I can't imagine it. I mean, I never did like big wheel stuff. I always avoided it. I don't know if that like was like taught that kind of that like it's not cool or whatever, but
yeah,
with the times I have done it, it has been way more fun than I remember. So, I mean, I probably will end up just doing big wheel one day, but I don't know. I'm an aggressive skater at heart. I'm going to do that for as long as I can, you know?
Well, I'm in that geeky big wheel stage of my life.
Yeah.
And it is quite terrifying when you're dropping into like a bowl with big like 110 mil tri skates.
Wow, it'd be so much faster, right?
It's so much faster and it's so scary, but it is so fun to cover in.
Yeah. That's what always surprises me, that just like the simplest part of blading, just rolling around, is surprisingly fun, you know? It's weird. For some reason that doesn't make sense to me.
And then lucky last one from Slug again, and I'm paraphrasing him exactly. Yo, ask him if he plans on dropping another street part in the near future.
Definitely. I would love to. Yeah. I feel like I've been just slammed with injuries, man. It's really screwed me. And I remember all through growing up skating, there was always like that one homie that's just always injured, you know, and it's kind of like to the point where you're just making excuses. I'm like, am I becoming that dude? But no, yeah, I've always want to keep doing street. I always want to keep making edits, forever, for sure. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And I definitely would want to do more street. Yeah. But yeah.
You need to find someone to film and follow you filming, because your style skating kind of, I think, could come across really well with not a stationary camera on a tripod.
Yeah.
I know you probably have to do that, and that's a pain in the ass, but follow cams are so good for people that have a good style. So
no, Slug's always down to film. So
he's a good film.
Well, there you go. Half of his questions up to him.
Yeah. The thing is too, like if we do like a double part or something, he always like, it's similar to skating with Callum. It would like just go up there. It's just like, he would just lay something, man, to the point where I'm like, damn it, man, what am I going to do now? You know, what trick have I got now? It's the same vibe. Yeah. It's hard
someone really should put some effort into like putting a decent New Zealand video together.
Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah. It's been
it takes a lot of work to travel around and do all that and do it within a relative period of time, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you need a deadline,
3 years, but
because if you don't have a deadline, you'll just never finish it, you know? You just keep replacing it, you just keep putting new clips in, or just never get around to doing it. Which I remember doing that when I was younger. I was trying to make a edit for when I was 16, and I probably filmed like at least 3 different edits where I just like would like almost finish one and be like, nah, I don't like it at all. Starting from scratch, replace all the clips, and then do it again, start from scratch. And that's why it's so good to, I don't know, like that's why on YouTube I like having like a system to upload all the time has kind of stopped me doing that. But I might have overdone it at this point where I show, you know, the quality standard has dropped a bit because of that. But I think it's definitely, I've learned that it's important to have a deadline, you know?
Yeah.
So you actually get something done and you don't just go on this infinite loop of looking for perfection, you know?
Oh, we are done with the guest questions.
Cool.
We've had you for an hour and 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is not bad.
Damn. Yeah.
Pretty long time.
Yeah.
We bet Jan, your podcast with Jan, like his was only an hour and a half, so we bet that.
His one's funny, because the internet's always dropping out. I'm surprised. Every single one, the internet goes down at some point. He does them live now too, which I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Jan's cool though, yes.
Yeah, his the Vault series. So rad.
I'm so glad he has that footage, man.
Yeah.
It's like exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the stuff that I wish there was more of.
Yeah,
even
that
when I
kind of raw
started skating.
stuff, and when he talks over it and where the spot was and what they were doing, it's quite cool.
And like to see them working out tricks, you know, he's like, it's really good, man. He's like really sitting on gold. Remember he talked about, there's a whole lot of footage he lost though that he was real gutted about. hopefully there's not too much of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a cool series.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he started doing that, because it's really cool that he did. It's a good
It's
idea.
a good watch. Well, Josh, should we end it here? And have you got any
Yeah,
more
what's the
questions?
time? Is it like midnight?
5:30. But no, it
Yeah.
was really cool that you came on, Brandon, to do this, and cool that you gave us your time, and cool to find out more about your backstory and your philosophy to skating. And it sounds like you came across really genuine in your love for skating, and I think that comes across in actually everything that you do, and the videos you put out. It's really cool.
Cheers for having me. Yeah, you guys have done such a good job with this, man. I'm very impressed. It's so hard to come out the gate and just nail it like that. And every single one you've done so far has been so interesting. I don't know if it's just because I'm a New Zealander that this shit's really interesting, but there's so much stuff that I know nothing about in the New Zealand scene that I'm learning through this, like so much, man. It was really good.
Oh, really?
I missed out on so much.
It's hard to, sometimes it can be quite hard to think of the questions to ask people, especially when it's easy when it's people that we know, or it's people that we skated with for a long time. But like the likes of the new school kids, or even yourself, it's sort of it's not hard, but it's just I guess it's challenging. Or
yeah. That's why I've never wanted to do interviews and stuff myself. It's so hard, man. I don't know. I just couldn't even compute, man. Even to set up like a Zoom like this, I wouldn't even know where to start. But yeah.
It's certainly been a lot of fun, Josh, I think.
Yeah, it's been good. And like we just said earlier, like we're taking a month or something off now, just to have a regroup, I suppose, and a break from it. But we definitely got a bunch more people that we want to talk to. So, and everyone in their own right, old school or new school or current or whatever, is quite important. So it's good to talk to you, Brandon, because you're like, as much as you probably don't want to admit it, or you don't realize, you're probably quite a crucial part of the scene at the moment, internationally as well, it sounds like. So good on you, man. It's
cheers.
Definitely worth props for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, still, to me, none of it feels real to me yet. I don't know when it will. Maybe at Blading Cup next year, but cheers. Yeah, really appreciate that.
You'll have to film an episode from Blading Cup.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I was wondering that. I keep flip-flopping on whether to just go there and chill out, or I feel like I have to film something, Yeah, I have to. Like, it's a one-off. There's a weird thing, though, with like taxes where it makes it complicated for me, but we can make it work.
So say you filmed it in New Zealand.
Yeah. Where's the proof, right? They won't look into it. It's fine.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, well, thanks again, man. Thanks so much.
Yes, yeah. All right.
Okay, guys.
Good night,
See you later.
Yeah, have a good night. See you later.
Thanks, Brandon.
Peace out.
See ya.
The parents are very strict. Where are you going with those skates? Wear your helmet. Are you doing that too? Are you jumping on those banisters?